everybody. Welcome. NorCal Sports Network. These guys took it on the chin tonight. So, there we go. Goodbye. Fair weather. Yep, I'm fair weather.
No mistakes by the Padres today, so the Giants can score, was there? Well, in the ninth inning, it did, though.
Hey, the Giants had plenty of chances. Again, they had runners.
1 for 8.
Oh man, Los was in the stream and his internet just went out.
Yeah,
again.
I saw him freeze when the intro was going.
Should be back shortly, he
All right,
says.
cool.
So anyway,
but yeah, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
1 for 8, is that what it was?
Yep.
Anyway, we'll see. It's going to be. It's not an easy series. Telling you, San Diego can hit.
They can hit.
Tomorrow night, they got Harrison going, and against Blake Snell, the league leader in ERA.
That's going to be a good duel. That's going to be a good duel.
Against the Giants, geez, can they put up some? I mean, bright spots tonight. First inning, Flores got all of the man. He smacked it. It was. I don't know if that went into the upper deck. I thought it did, but. Anyway, it's going to be not an easy series because even though San Diego's done, and I hate. I'm going to say it. 99.9% chance Padres are done, but if there's any chance, I mean, St. Louis won 16 straight,
16 in a row, right?
To get back. They were done. They had a 2.8% chance on September 7th of making the playoffs. They went in like gangbusters. They were smoking hot. It's never over, especially with these teams. They're not gangbusters. The Giants, the D-backs, and the Marlins and the Reds. Not one of those 4 teams is scary, okay? They're just mid teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cincinnati's like a couple games over 500 and they're a game behind the Giants.
Right.
Giants are 5 over. They're 70-65. That is, not a team that has tells you that this is a team that is dangerous. Can it be? Yeah, anybody can be dangerous.
Moments, right? They have their moments.
Anybody can be dangerous. I mean, the A's ran off 7 straight earlier this year. Have they even won 40 games yet? Oakland?
I don't think so.
I mean, they won 7 in a row. They are. What is Oakland? I'm going to look their record up. Just curious for Oakland is 40. They have won 40. They're 40-95.
Whew.
But 40 games. And they have a 7-game win streak. The Padres have won 63 and yet have, I think, their biggest win streak's like
3
4 games.
Isn't it 3?
4 games?
I think it's 3.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
With the talent they have, it's unbelievable. So it wouldn't shock me to see the Padres win the next 2 of this series. It would not shock me one bit. But it's baseball. Anything can happen. Diamondbacks win tonight. They beat the Baltimore Orioles.
Cincinnati split.
Cincinnati came back in the bottom of the 9th. 1 out, nobody on. They tied it up with a home run. I watched it. And then won it on a I think it was did they get a double or a base hit? No, base hit. And then can't remember how they got him over to second. Wild pitch or something got him to third, and then base hit first pitch to Noel Marte, this young shortstop that was with Seattle, that was traded he was in the pitcher. I'm drawing a blank. My mind. The great pitcher, Castillo. He was in the trade he was the big piece from the Castillo trade. Marlins won. So when you look at the standings right now in
It's
the
a
wild card, Giants are tied with Arizona,
Yep.
identical records. And then Miami or Cincinnati's one game behind the D-backs and the Giants, and then Miami's two back. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
and then Giants play Chicago next week. Going to be tough when they go into Chicago because they leave Sunday afternoon from Arizona or from San Diego, excuse me. They'll probably get on a flight about 6:30 out of San Diego. 3.5 hour flight to Chicago, about 10 o'clock, which is say 10 o'clock Pacific time. So that's midnight, Sunday night. They'll probably get into Chicago about midnight. By the time they get to their hotels and get to sleep, 2 a.m, roughly. And then they got a game on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So
suck it up, Buttercup.
But they will be on. They've been on Pacific time for a long time, haven't they? When was the last time
they've been in the Pacific quite often. Hey, Robert, Giant or Harrison may make a statement tomorrow, but this is the post-game show. Let's hear what you have to say about today's game against the Padres.
So, hey, look at Los, grew some hair for his birthday. Nice, man.
He's been going to Balco as well.
Yeah.
What happens? See what happens when you have a birthday, man. Just your hair just grows.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I think it was? I think I know what it was.
100%.
You know what's coming.
Click, 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 click.
Click, click, click. There it is. That's what gave him the power to grow that head of hair right there.
That's classic.
Man. Isn't that awesome?
The unitard of Andre the Giant.
Look at that. You got the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, as Dan Coach Emilio. And I'm his bodyguard with all the hundreds, Virgil. Remember when they'd stick the $100 bills in the guy's mouth?
All right. Giants postgame. There we go. Not for the wrestling right now. When we get into wrestling, we'll do it later.
But I'm just saying that's what gave him that head of hair.
So anyway, I got to sit down here for a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of a it's an interesting way of looking at this. But Giants, like I was saying, 12 o'clock, they get in, 2 o'clock bedtime. They got to get up. They got to play a 1 o'clock, 1:15 game in Chicago, which is really like 11:15. They'll be on. It's like an 11 o'clock game to them. So they're going to be on, West Coast time. So I don't expect them to win Monday, even though Logan Webb is going. I just think that's tough. I mean, hopefully they're smart enough to send Webb a day early into Chicago so he doesn't have to go on the same flight and get to bed at 2 a.m. and then wake up and pitch. Yeah. I hope they're smarter than that. But we'll see. What were your guys' takeaways? Let's start with let's go around the room. Let's start from below me, Bora. We'll go right around with the hair guy and then the other hair guy. The hair guys. All three of you guys are hair guys. Hey, what's going on here? Come on. This doesn't feel right.
Bora's got great hair, man. Them 2004 guys, man. Just
right.
Look at that. And I'm looking.
2004 guys.
Still needs to get shampoo every 2 weeks.
All I need is some seams in my hair, and I look like the baseball.
We got the whippersnapper in here. What's up, whippersnapper?
So what's your takeaway tonight, Bora?
I'm not much to say. It was a pretty boring game. Beck didn't have his A game. I mean, I'm not going to say much. Estrada 2 hits. He's looking good. Peterson, rough day, 3 strikeouts. He does not look good whatsoever. The broadcast was saying that he had some type of ownage on Waka, I think.
Yeah.
Waka was the pitcher, right? On
Yeah.
Waka, well, that didn't show whatsoever. He starts to get it going, but then all of a sudden, like in a game or two, it just comes all the way back down. Let's see. Crawford looks okay, I guess.
Yeah, 2 for 3, and then he got robbed of a hit by Grisham
He
in
did.
center.
He did. And then I'm always gonna say it. What's the point of Kapler subbing in Sable for Schmidt in the last inning? I don't get it. Schmidt had a double early in the game. Sables has been struggling at the plate, almost like a 40% strikeout rate in his last 40 at bats.
He did get hit though.
He got hit. He didn't get a hit. He got hit. But I mean, I don't see the point of it. I really don't. You're down 5 anyway. Is Sable's at bat really going to change the whole trajectory of the game in the 9th inning? Me personally, I don't think so.
No.
I
actually didn't have much of a problem with that just because it was the 9th inning and defensively you still had DeYoung on the bench. And I just thought, well, who knows? You might be able to get to the pitcher before you bring in Hader. You might force him to bring in Hader. I mean, they brought the tying run to the plate in Flores. But I see what you're saying. It was kind of
the thing is, it's all about matchups. I mean, Meckler hasn't looked good at all. Schmidt has looked good. It's all about the righty lefty. They're not looking at the percent or the at bats, like the quality of the at bats and what they're actually doing. They're just looking on the computer and looking at, oh, it's a righty pitcher. We want a lefty hitter. I would have pinch hit. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have pinch hit Sable at all, but if I'm choosing between Sable and Meckler or Meckler and Schmidt, I'm choosing Schmidt to hit and pinch hitting for Meckler at that time.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't Schmidt already playing in the game?
Yeah.
Anything else? You wrapped up there? Or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, just to comment on put this tweet out tonight about pinch hitting right, left. Elliot Ramos, home run earlier tonight, straightaway center. But Farhan was upset because he hit another one off a right-handed pitcher. Can't be having your former number 1 draft pick at 23, whom the club has not given a fair shot doing this. It goes against the narrative. Ramos, they don't give him a shot at all. He goes down and he just keeps ripping.
Dan wants me to rant, doesn't he? Dan just wants me to rant.
Couple of at-bats.
Rant away.
Couple of at-bats. He gets a couple of at-bats up here. Can't, it's like up and down, up and down.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, Lowe's, you're up, man. The man with the new hair.
Well, as far as Elliot Ramos goes, seeing what he does in AAA night after night is kind of like having the most beautiful woman walk in front of you over and over and over again, and you can't do nothing with her. It's just a tease. It's just another 2 for 3 night, another 3 for 4 night, but it's not with the big club, so big tease. Thanks for those stats, Ramos. Thanks, guys, for bringing them up. As far as the Giants tonight goes, the only thing predictable about the Giants is they're pretty unpredictable. They really are. Like we said, they were going to split against the Padres.
Well, I think I said they would split. Someone else said 3 of 4. I think it was Senior.
I think Morris said lose 3 of 4.
I think more
that very well. That very well.
I said lose 3 of 4.
Oh, did you say 3 of 4? It still could happen.
Listen, there's 4 consistent things about the Giants day to day. Well, Webb is not day to day because he throws every 5 days. Logan Webb will give you a good start when he pitches. Patrick Bailey will give you a great defensive effort when he catches. Casey Schmidt will give you a good defensive effort when he catches, or when he plays third base, sorry. And Mr. Ramos will give you good at-bats. Or Wilmer Flores. What am I saying, Ramos? Flores Wilmer Flores will give you good at-bats. Those are the 4 consistent things about the Giants. Everything else is this, up and down. And that's why they're the team that they are. They'll look great one night and put up 7 or 8 runs and smash the ball around. They'll go out and they'll get 1 hit the next day. So to me, I was kind of thinking about it. Those are the 4 guys. Doval, for the most part, has been consistent all year. You know what you're going to get from him, but lately he's been kind of leaky, giving up stuff. But those 4 guys, you know what you're getting from them pretty much game in and game out. Webb when he pitches and starts, Flores at bats, Bailey defensively, and Schmidt defensively.
What did you think of Estrada's blunder tonight? In the
that was pretty basic. That was not a hard play. That to me was a mental error.
I'll tell you where it was
Like
from.
he was checked out, man. He was thinking about something else, not a baseball game, because that was an easy play.
This is why I put this up earlier tonight, because Kapler needs to go out and protect his players. This was unbelievable. See this call right here? Look at that. Look how low and look how bad that call is. They called it a strike. And it was a strike 3. I don't know if I can play the commentary. Can I play the commentary?
I wouldn't.
I mean, Kruk and Kipe, Kruko was just like, it's awful. But look at Gabe. Look at Gabe right here in this next screenshot. Where the heck is he?
Who knows? He just popped up on the rail. What happened?
Look at this pitch.
Look at my muscles, though. Look at my muscles. I got a cool-ass shirt on.
It's the top of the 6th with 2 out. You got to get out there and run and get run up. You got to go. That's the 2nd out. Look at this pitch. You could see that from the dugout. As I said in my tweet here, you can't tell balls and strikes are hard to see from the dugout, but when it's super low, it's pretty easy. How many guys do you see like
was Kapler even watching the game? Because it looked like he just came up on the rail.
Who knows? But I'll just
you know the funny thing about Cap is like a couple of weeks ago, he went out and stood up for Meckler.
No,
he got tossed.
He got tossed and then he came out. He didn't come out and then get tossed. You know what I'm saying?
This is what pisses me off is you're in a pennant race. You're down 6-2. Okay, you got to fire your club up.
Exactly, and that's the perfect time to do that.
When you're down like that, get your butt out there, Gabe, and start saying this. Is that just right here? Is that just barely off the ground? Get your butt thrown out of the game, and maybe your players will get. Hey, man, Gabe's got our back.
Get out there like Aaron Boone when he kept.
The laptop and the tablet suggested that it was not.
Watch. Estrada's coming back and watch. You see Kapler. He just comes up on the rail. Who knows where he was coming back from? Maybe he was lifting weights or something.
Yeah, like, come on.
Look at Yaz. Look at Yaz at second base. Watch his face. Shake his head right below here. Wait a minute. It's on the first part. When it replays, watch Yaz just shake his head out there at second base because he's got a perfect view of it. Here it is. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, my goodness. Hey, come on. Kapler needs to get out there. I tell you what, Aaron Boone would have been out there, especially in
100%.
When it's 6-2 and it's late in the game, okay, you've got now like 10 outs left in the game. Go ahead and get yourself rung up. Maybe it fires your club up. Maybe they don't come back tonight. But tomorrow, you know what? Clubhouse comes up and says, hey, man, Gabe's engaged. He's got our back. No, he's just sitting there like this. And
you know what, though? You know what? See, it kind of goes more than that. And I'm going to talk about something right after this, too. But more than even just getting your club fired up or even trying to get them motivated, how about just knowing that the players know that their manager has got their back?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, without the motivation, even if he got tossed out of the game.
Well, you come out and argue balls and strikes, you're automatically tossed.
Right. But what I'm saying is, don't use that as a motivation for the club. It should be showing the club that, you know what, I'm going to take care of you guys when I think there's something wrong.
As a manager, you shouldn't have to think of that.
Right.
You should have that instinct.
That
should be instantaneous.
And you know what, Bora, you're speaking to something that we've been saying this whole year. he doesn't have the managerial instincts
Nope.
to be in that dugout. He's a
As-
robot.
As a manager, you're almost like a father to your
yes,
to your
to
family.
an extent you are. Yes.
Yeah, you sort of have that protective instinct,
Right,
and
that
you always
paternal,
have
yeah.
exactly, and you always have to have your players' backs.
Now-
That's just what you have to do.
Now, here's another thing, and chat, you guys can weigh in on this as well. What do you guys think? When he brought in Wood, and we've been talking about when Wood has been coming in the game, what has Wood been coming in the game mostly for? Mop-up rolls.
Well, he's
Yeah.
he's
In-
trying to eat in
For
innings.
blowouts. So tell me this then. Is Kapler tossing in the towel in the third inning when it was what, 6 or 7-2 at that? No, 6-2. So was he tossing in the towel by bringing in Wood in the third
6-1,
inning?
was it 6-1?
Something like that. Yeah.
No,
So
I
was
don't
he-
think he's tossing in the towel. You got to get rid of Beck. Who are you going to bring in?
Right. No, I understand that. But I found it interesting that it was Wood. Just because of what we've been seeing, the role that Wood has been kind of been relegated
Well, they
to.
needed somebody to eat
Yeah.
innings up, and they don't have anybody that is available. Mania pitched 90 pitches the other night. Junis just pitched last night. You don't have anybody that can
Well,
go.
Wynn came up, but I don't know. Maybe they're saving him for a start. I don't know.
They may be getting ready to use him Tuesday. I don't know.
And boy, was I wrong. I thought Beck would be able to be a starter, but after
But I
today,
would think
oh,
they would have brought Beck up tonight if they were planning on starting him till Tuesday. So
yeah.
I wonder if I heard this on the broadcast, if the Padres had something on Beck, because he was giving up loud contact and he didn't strike out anybody. I mean, it was just
Tipping his pitches, possibly.
he might
Probably.
have been. So I'm not off the Beck train yet. I want to see another start.
I'll tell you what, with Beck, I've seen this over a few times this year. I don't see Beck is doing anything that's middle of the road. He's either lights out, untouchable, or he gets rocked. I haven't seen him just like go 2 or 3 innings and give up a run or two. He goes 2 or 3 innings, it's either 5-6 runs, or goes 1 inning, it's 3 runs, or he goes 3 or 4 innings or 2 innings and he doesn't give up anything. He's just like so Jekyll and Hyde. It's unbelievable. If you look
That's the entire roster. There's Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
I said 4 guys are consistent with what they do.
And that's what I've been saying. There's
Pretty
no
much.
consistency on this team. The only thing that's consistent is the inconsistency.
right. Who was your 4 guys, Los? I know it was Webb, Duvall, Flores, and who was the 4th guy?
Well, I didn't include Duvall because he's been kind of shaky lately. I said Schmidt's defense. You know what you get every day. Bailey's defense, every day consistent. Wilmer Flores' at bats. Like that dude is hitting 291 with 20 home. Man, much love to Wilmer Flores.
Yeah.
I think
And
he
he's
just
like-
hit his.
He's like our best hitter right now.
I know.
He
he's
got his
he's
career high in homers today.
very consistent at bats. And Logan Webb starts 6 to 7 innings,
Yeah.
1 or 2 runs or less. That's it. Name me another player that is consistent with their performances daily. Name me one. Anybody in the chat? Anybody? Name me one other guy.
Not
It's
much.
consistent. Like every time they hit or pitch.
Estrada's been fairly consistent most of the year, kind of hanging around, at a decent clip and stuff. But where is the
I would add Taylor Rogers in the bullpen has been consistent.
yeah, his brother too. His brother's been pretty
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them pitched well.
Yeah. I had another thought. It slipped my mind. Right.
Yeah, I got something to show you. Hey, you want to talk about, Flores hitting his 20th home run? Oh, you want to go, Dan? If you want,
I just remember what was the home run predictions we had. Somebody picked Flores.
Oh my gosh!
To lead the team in homers?
Yeah, when we were down, would anybody hit 20? And we predicted like.
Oh my God!
Nobody predicted.
Who wrote that?
Who?
Did anybody write that down? I thought Bora did.
I wrote it.
thought
I gotta
Bora
find
did.
my notebook. I gotta find my notebook.
No way nobody predicted Flores.
Somebody did. Somebody did.
Somebody did. Somebody picked
To lead
Flores.
the
And I
team?
don't.
Give me 1 second.
think
I'll be
so.
right back.
All right.
Yeah, I don't remember who we picked.
All right, here real quick. This is kind of in line until Laura gets back. This kind of goes in line with home runs. Check this tweet out. This is incredible when I saw this.
Oh, yeah.
The Braves 1 through 5 hitters. 31 home runs, 28 home runs, 32 home runs, 43 home runs, 32 home runs. That is a lineup. And look at that. The top 3 are homegrown. The other 2 were acquired by trade. Incredible. I mean, that's the firepower is just.
And Albie sat out 2 weeks with
exactly
hammy, so he'll.
What was the reason the Giants didn't go after Matt Olson? He was right there across the bay.
Matt Olson or Freddie Freeman. Like, they could have traded for Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Look at that. And it says combined, they have 166 home runs, which is more than 17 teams.
All right, everybody. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
What do we got? Hold on.
Oh, I did. I said 21. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Yours was Sable. That's right. I said Conforto.
Hey, I'm not even on there. Was I off on that show?
You must have been because we
I
asked
think so,
everybody.
yeah.
Look at that. Oh, damn.
Wait a minute, Bora, you predicted Sable?
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey,
I really don't
you
want to talk
also
about it.
Look at that.
You
I won
also
the
predicted
Harrison
they would win the
outing.
No, you didn't win the Harrison outing. You didn't win the
I
Harrison
won the
outing.
Harrison outing.
You didn't win the Harrison outing. I got the
was
Harrison
close.
outing by
I
the
was
points.
close. Very close. Subject to review.
Man, and I
You were
was
close.
telling you months ago, Dan, man, this kid Bora is smart, man. He's them 2 predictions are making
PK man doesn't think so.
It's for the content.
Oh, man.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Oh man.
Well, that was a long shot to pick Sable. I mean, it's easy to pick some of the other guys.
It was.
Flores,
I
Braves-
think that's what I was going with.
Braves did what they had to do.
Who did you pick, Dan?
Was it Conforto?
Conforto, 22.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Not going to happen. He's not even going to hit. How many's he got? 14? How many's Conforto have right now?
Let's see.
I got my
That
own.
was a good one.
I got my own generic farts, man.
That was
I don't need to push no button.
Damn, that was good.
He has 15 right now.
15.
Mhm.
And he'd probably be, if he wasn't hurt, he'd be ahead of. No, he still wouldn't be. Flores is rocking.
He may get more than
I'm
21. I said 21, but it may be more.
He may, if he goes over, you get disqualified, just like the Price is Right. So the next guy would be whoever has the most, whether it's Sable or Conforto. So
Well, I didn't exceed.
if he hits one more or 2 more.
Oh, he
2 more.
exceeds, not me. Gotcha,
Yeah, if he
okay.
exceeds 21, you lose.
Yeah.
Price is Right. That's how we play the game. If you go 1 penny over, that's so.
Unless you're voting for yourself.
Well, just remember, it's not who votes. It's
Right. Who counts them?
votes.
Exactly. There you go. Joseph Stalin.
So
Hey,
check
that's how we're run here in two now, man.
Hey guys, I'm going to read a player's stats from last year to this year, and I want to see if anybody can guess who it is. Last year, full season, 210 batting average, 19
How many at bats?
homers,
How many at bats?
504 at bats last year.
Mike Yastrzemski.
Yep,
Hold
I knew
on.
it. You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
It might not even be a giant, Hinton. Okay, can I finish, please? 210 batting average.
Hey.
19,
Gave you the stink time.
last warning.
All right, last warning. Go
Can I
ahead.
finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
210.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Nah.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Oh, that wasn't me, Los.
That was
I
Eric,
know.
man.
Hey,
That
hey,
is
That's
weak.
me.
That
That's
is so weak, Eric.
That's
weak.
the first time I've been cut on the show. Okay. Take 4.
Mhm.
Last year, 210, 19 homers, 68 RBIs. This year, 316, 20 homers, 77
Bellinger.
RBIs.
Cody Bellinger.
Bingo.
Yep.
That is an incredible. And I don't believe, was he hurt last year to be hitting so poorly?
I think he was still fighting that short.
Well, I mean,
back and
he
fight.
played a lot, but he must have had like some. Must have been lingering.
210 to 316.
I tell you, he was hurt.
So remember a few days ago, I was talking crap about how Giants the organization is not giving like the young guys the ability to adapt and improve and work on things. So obviously Clay Bellinger is not a young player, but he made an adjustment. That's what professionals do. So he made a huge adjustment, and the Cubs are, seeking the rewards because of it. That's how baseball is. Baseball is very up and down. You gotta make tweaks when things are not working, and that's what you do as a professional. So it's frustrating to see them not give some of these young guys. They just write them off. Remember what I said?
Yeah.
They have their idea in mind. It's made up on somebody, and that's it. They cannot improve. They cannot tweak this or tweak that, and that's a little disappointing to me.
Yes,
so I wanted to bring that up with Cody. Good guess, Danny.
Bellinger is a free agent, but don't get your hopes up.
Giants should have signed him this year, but anyway, that's just I was complaining about that. But anyway, let's this whole thing with the Giants and their inconsistency. We've talked about it. We don't know what we're going to get tomorrow. I mean, Kyle Harrison's going, so hopefully it's another fantastic outing.
Yes,
but
they're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, C's candy. Until you learn which one you're biting into, you don't know what it is. The first couple times.
Nuts and chews all day.
Oh yeah, nuts and chews. Yep, I love
all
those.
all
day. Yep. So anyway, before I forget, is Rebel 4444 in the house? If you are
Rebel 4444. Razor 44 Razor.
I always used to remember the Niners. I listened to so many NFL films, and their cadence was for years. It was Montana. It was prior to Montana. It was 388, 388. It was always audibly. That I don't know. You know what that means, Los? 388
for a football audible.
Yeah.
388 when it's usually a number, it most of the time basically signals some kind of a shift. So that might have a guy shifting in motion, but every offense is different. So
yeah, there it is.
What did Peyton Manning always say? 59 Razor.
Yep, 59 Razor.
How about when Aaron Rodgers calls out somebody like or Eli or Peyton Manning calling out somebody's name?
Omaha.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Quarterback's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
A lot on his plate.
So, I know where I was going with this tonight.
Rebel 4444. That's where you're going.
I'm going back to where another thought about the game. Wade Meckler. The comment was made by Kipe tonight.
Yep.
There was a fly ball in the left center, and I've seen him do this before. And Peterson like looks over. He's like, I got it. Puts his hand out because they and surprisingly, that Kuiper said, Meckler reminds you of a like he's coming after the ball like he's on punt coverage, like you're going to get tackled. He's scary out there. He doesn't. He's not smooth in the center field. He's like Matos glides. Meckler just relies on his speed. He gets horrible balls. That ball was catchable that went off the wall. He takes it. He turns his head. Oh, and then instead of running, well, I can't do it this way. Instead of running back, looking for the ball, he turns his body and starts running, and he doesn't. Then he's like 10 feet from where the ball is.
He's the complete polar opposite to Matos.
Yeah.
Complete 180.
But he bats left-handed.
And it's like that defense out there. I'm telling you, Meckler. And then I'll tell you what. I'm never throwing this kid a fastball until he learns how to hit an off-speed pitch. Has he hit? I don't think he has a hit this year. against up this on the big club with an off-speed pitch.
It's a little
I read
surprising
it.
because he hit 360, 370 in a tough pitchers league in AA, but maybe those AA pitchers were just throwing a lot of fastballs.
Well, if they can't get their breaking stuff over or their off-speed pitch,
they can't throw their breaking balls for strikes.
you wait for the pitch, a fastball. It's not that difficult if you know what's coming and you're pretty good at fastball hitter. And then he swung at ball 4 tonight with bases loaded up above the strike zone. I'm impressed a little bit, but I'm not like I think he's going to be good, but
he needs some more seasoning in AAA.
Yeah. What I'm saying is you're going to run Meckler out there right now in a pennant race. Why not have gotten Randall Grichuk, a veteran? I mean, why are you going with – because he's left-handed? I don't care. I really don't care because he's left-handed. Just put some major league guys out there. Meckler's going to come through. He's going to have some moments. But this guy's a year out of college, and he wasn't a star. Like, he was – what was he, an 8th-round draft pick?
What does he need to work on the most going into next year?
He needs a couple things.
I think he needs to put on a little strength and a little weight. Not necessarily in his upper body, in his legs, because hitting is a lot of legs. It's very underrated. Like your legs is your base and your power. But he needs to get a little bit stronger, and he does need a little bit of work.
Yeah, I mean,
for a guy that fast. For a guy that fast, like he's not that great of an outfielder at all. Like
no, he's not.
You know what? I will say this. Let's remember it's only his first year out of college, and college ball to the majors is a whole nother level. I think this kid is going to be
down
pretty
on
good.
him. He doesn't belong up on the club, is what I'm saying right now.
No, I completely agree. Not right now, but I'm saying like
I think he's going to be good.
Next year, I think he's gonna take a big step next year, just because in the offseason he's gonna get that seasoning. He's gonna bulk up. He's gonna practice his reps in the outfield and everything. And I think he's gonna be good. And I think he's when he comes into spring training next year, he's gonna be a whole nother player.
Yeah, I think he's got 300 potential written all over him. I think if he becomes a pretty good hitting player, a guy that's going to probably hit you 285 lifetime average or higher. He has that look in him, but the Giants keeping him up right now, in my opinion, is costing them. I guess what I'm saying is this is the best the Giants could do right now. I mean, this is the pennant stretch. You're down to 27 games, right? 27, 70 and what are they? 70 and 65?
I think
that's
so.
135. Yeah. So you got 27 games to go and you're playing Wade Meckler. Like, I mean, are you going to use him in the playoffs if you make the playoffs? I mean, I don't know. I just don't think going with a guy that, to me, doesn't look like he plays center. He gets to some balls that he's pretty fast, but I've seen him now go back on 2 balls that are against the wall where he's like not even close. He's like totally turned around. And then I watched Trent Grisham like just take this hit away from Crawford with a perfect angle. And I'm like, dude, that's what the Giants, I mean, they had it in Matos. I mean, Matos made some mistakes. He got some bad jumps on some balls in front of him. That's his problem. He tends to step in first and then, or back. I'm not sure what, got to look at it, the film on him, but I just want to see the Giants go with, I guess it's because of the injury situation. You can't stick Yaz out in center field because he's hurting. He can't run full speed. They just said Slater's doing better with his hamstring, and so he's starting to be able to play but you couldn't have gone out, and if you're not going to play Matos and you're not going to play Ramos, you couldn't do better in center field than Wade Meckler. I mean, I imagine they probably wanted to try and get Harrison Bader on waivers, but Cincinnati got him, so they're 2 spots ahead. But Farhan did nothing but go get AJ Pollock. I mean,
who is going to be back up with this club in the next week for Meckler?
Yeah,
I
will.
Yeah, like
they'll throw him out there and hope that doesn't click. They honestly don't have many options or choices, Dan.
I guess not. I guess that's the problem. That's
the problem.
What I'm saying.
The roster is average. So
that's what I'm saying.
They go to Yaz. He's injury prone and regressed. Slater's another veteran, regressed. They gave Matos an honest shot. They did throw him out there a lot. Yeah, and he's a very good center fielder. His hitting could use a little work. To me, he is the best option out of everybody. They had to give Meckler a chance because the kid was just raking, and they didn't have anybody other than Flores hitting in the lineup. So they had to give him an audition to see what he can do. Obviously, he's not quite ready. So
you don't think Ramos is better?
Thank you.
I do too. Yep. I do, but they're not going to give him a chance.
That's what blows my mind.
Have we ever seen Ramos in center field, or has he?
He's played center.
Okay, yeah.
He plays a good center. For a big dude. He's fast. And he's got a good arm.
Yeah,
he does have a good arm.
But for some reason,
nope, they don't. This regime doesn't like.
I mean,
him.
what did he do? It's not like he came up here and stunk. He hit a home run.
He wasn't drafted by this regime. It's politics.
That's what we keep saying. We don't have any evidence.
I don't know.
What else do they give us?
What else could it be? Because
Right.
like he's shown that when he came up here and was given a little bit of a chance, he did well. Isn't that what it's all about?
Right.
He can help the team win. So
Bailey,
why is he going down?
Bailey has gotten consistent reps. Matos has gotten consistent reps. Meckler has gotten consistent reps. Sable has gotten consistent reps. Schmidt has gotten consistent reps. The only guy who hasn't gotten consistent reps is Matos.
And you mean Ramos?
Ramos.
And what do all those guys you named have in common?
They were drafted.
They're all by this regime.
Yep.
Well,
so
not Matos.
I'm using the process. I'm using the process of elimination.
Right.
Not Matos. But I don't know. Maybe Ramos tried to date Farhan's daughter or something. They got something against him. I don't know. But they're doing that kid wrong. That kid deserves a chance. They've given everybody else a chance. Why not him?
Yeah, he
flies off.
He hit one to straightaway center tonight, and in fact put him ahead 3-2. They ended up winning 3-2.
Senior said there was a brawl, bench clearing.
Well, it wasn't a brawl. I saw it. They emptied, but they didn't. Nothing happened.
Just a bunch of shoving.
The thing with Ramos too is right now in this lineup you have 2 guys that can hit a ball over 110 miles an hour off the bat. Peterson and Schmidt. And Schmidt, it's kind of rare. Same with Peterson. You have no other guy who can hit a ball over 110 miles an hour. Ramos can do that. He has a different type of power. Yeah,
Luciano.
Yeah, Luciano. He's injured though. But I mean,
yeah,
like Ramos has that. You basically don't have that on this team because Peterson and Schmidt aren't really producing at the moment like they could. And when Ramos has gotten up, he hasn't gotten consistent reps. He just hasn't, and that's the end of the deal. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's really frustrating to watch because I don't think Ramos is long for this organization. I mean, he's Trey Lance.
He'll go somewhere and get a chance and play well.
Yeah, by the time he goes somewhere, he'll be like 30 years old, right? Something like that.
No, he's only 23.
Is he
how many more years of
eligible
control
this year?
What's that?
Eric, go ahead.
How many more years of control did the Giants have on him?
Oh, probably like 5 at least.
That's what I'm saying. He's probably going to be 30 before he can get anywhere else.
Well, when does he become Rule 5 eligible?
Well, Rule 5 is he's past that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody that wants Farhan and Gabe gone more than Ramos. If he's going to ever get a shot in this organization, they can't be here. They will not give him a chance. He'll get starts in spring training again next year and look pretty good, but he won't probably be on the roster opening day. And
well, they're blocking him with guys that they're blocking him with guys like Slater, Yaz, and Conforto. And Haniger. They block him with 30-plus-year-olds.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
You know, you don't even you may not even make the playoffs. And if you don't make the playoffs, it's a completely lost year because you didn't develop as many guys as you could have developed. You developed Bailey. You're developing Schmidt. You somewhat developed Sable. But you're not giving these guys, and even Sable, they're not giving, if you think about if he's part of the future, letting him play against lefties too. They don't, you can't, you're not developing somebody fully if you're not playing him every day. Schmidt is getting the better chance now. He wasn't even supposed to be in the lineup tonight, by the way. Davis, something happened with JD Davis, they said. You know what it was, Bora? What was it?
I heard someone say that it was like left hand soreness. That doesn't have any.
Oh.
I haven't heard anybody else say. It was like some random guy on Twitter, but I don't know if that's true or not. But
I don't know what the
I haven't
deal
heard
was,
anything else.
but it's better to see Schmidt in there anyway.
Yep.
Sable
within the years coming is going to be on this team. He's going to be a contributor. He's going to take over the Jock Peterson role. The
I
DH
think so.
and the occasional outfielder. I think Bart is going to be on this team next year to start at least. And if he doesn't produce, he'll get traded for a bag of peanuts at the trade deadline. But I think it's going to be Bailey and Bart to start the year next year, and Sable's going to be the DH.
That would make a lot of sense. And then Flores would probably be the right-handed DH at times and play some first base. But the Giants seem to do the same thing, Farhan. They'll bring back Slater and Yaz and Haniger's back, and they'll tinker, with the outfield. They'll block Matos and Ramos again from playing every day. Ramos probably won't even get a shot. Conforto, who knows what he's going to do? My gut tells me he still could opt out and test the market because it's a weak year.
I think he might.
If I'm him, I'm opting out. You know why? Because if I come back here, I'm totally destroying my value with another year of playing under Farhan and Kapler and playing in, Oracle Park where the fences are just ridiculous and it's hard to hit home runs for lefties. He's got 15 or so this year. His value is in going and signing. He's got a 1-year deal. Opt out. Go sign another 1-year deal somewhere else, like Cincinnati, or take Joey Votto's spot in Cincinnati and become the DH in Cincinnati and hit 35 home runs in that bandbox. Now go and get your contract, your 3 to 4 year deal, for $80 million, your $4 million deal at 80 and finish your career out. That's what if I'm Conforto, and his agent's Boros, isn't it?
Yes.
So you're his agent, Bora?
Exactly.
Okay. So
he's not coming back. I'll tell you that.
I mean, don't you think that makes more sense than to come back to San Francisco and have a 1-year deal? You got to prove it. He's so much in the driver's seat. It's such a bogus type of contract that Farhan signed because it's a lose-lose for Farhan unless you dealt him this year.
Yes. And here, let's go back to this. Lydia brings up a good point.
And he didn't deal him. Imagine if he would have dealt him.
Exactly. He probably got something back. But Lydia, look, Flores hits 20 home runs. Why can't Jock hit more? And you know what's funny? How much did Jock get paid this offseason?
18
Almost
million
almost
dollars.
No, he
20
got
million.
19.6.
Almost, yes, almost $20 million. I think Flores is getting paid like 8, I think, or something like that.
Six something.
$6 million. But you got a guy who's performing like a $20 million player, and the other guy performing like a $6 million player. It's fantastic. Yeah, and this is what it did. We talked about this before, Los. You want to talk about, Farhan coming in here, getting rid of the bad money. How much bad money, even though it's not extravagant, it's still bad money.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do a contract.
When you add it up.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Farhan. His history with some of these contracts is garbage. Yes, they're not, $100, $200 million contracts that have gone bad.
Let's name them.
Name them. Go for it.
All right.
Conforto.
Peterson.
La Stella.
DeSclafani. Wood.
How about not signing Gosman?
Yep, that's 6. We'll count that.
I know we're missing some.
Manaya.
Stripling.
Manaya.
Both of those are $12.5 million each with an opt-out. You better hope those guys opt out. Maybe Manaya coming back's okay, but he probably.
Luke Jackson.
I hate to say it because I'm not trying to get cut off the show by Dan, but Brandon Crawford wasn't exactly a great contract either.
No, I would.
Well,
that was more of a thank you for, again, the thing that I don't like. Don't pay for the past.
Yeah, but what do you do? What do you do when after the 21 season, when it was all these shortstops were coming out? It was Seager. It was
that year was Seager and Simeon and Baez.
And there was going to be a couple more.
And then the year after that was like Swanson and Bogarts.
You had some good
Trey Turner.
But Crawford had an unbelievable 21. He was could have been MVP. I think he finished 4th or 5th in the
career year. Yeah.
And the Giants saw that as he's going to continue to do that, like they thought.
I don't think that was such a bad contract because it was 2 years and it was $16 million a year, and there was no sign of him falling off like he did.
I think the problem though is that was a career year, right?
It was.
Yes.
At how old was he? 34, 35?
33 at the time.
You have to take that into consideration. Is he going to do that at 35 and 36?
Yeah. Do you really think he's going to do that for 2 more years? He's not going to replicate
34 because he's 36. He started the season this year at 36. So I guess he was 34. So he was starting at 35 in the contract.
Yeah, if he was 30, I would understand it. But he
to
was
get back
34.
To the point, look at these contracts. So you can't sit there and say Farhan is some kind of genius with contracts just because they're smaller. They still sucked.
That's 9.
Yeah,
that's
my point
9.
is, I don't know what do you do though? Let Crawford just walk after that year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hindsight.
As much as I love 20, him, and he's an all-time. That was a lifetime achievement, contract. Thank you.
If I would have signed him, I would have signed him for 1 year. That's
1 year, maybe. Yeah.
1 year, prove that you can do it again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough. He might have not wanted it. He could have gone and got the year he had. He could have got $20 million a year for 2 years somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. He probably could have. Somebody would have gave it
easily.
And that's professional sports. They react to somebody that has a career year. And they don't look at the body of work. And that drives me crazy about general managers. Like a guy could have a 5-year career. He has 1 good year, and let's give him max money.
Guys.
Jimmy Garoppolo, nobody talks about that. But I'm just going into that negotiation room. You had 5 games. And you won them all. And you and your agent go into the Niners office and say, I want to be the highest paid quarterback of all time. Higher than Brady, higher than Russell Wilson at the time, higher than all the top quarterbacks. And the Niners said, okay. So I'm making that point because that is what is wrong with sports. They give these huge contracts for a lot of times 1 good year. That's not good business. You do it every year, you get big money.
Right.
You do it one out of your 4-year contract. And I hate the theory is, well, he could have walked. Let him walk. Let somebody else overpay for him. Why is that so hard in sports? Why is that so hard? Oh my God, we're going to lose him. So what? Let somebody else overpay him. I'm serious.
Who's having that year? Who's having that year right now? It's Wilmer Flores, and I know he's signed for 2 more years, right? Something like that. But I have a feeling they're not going to address the first base situation, and they're going to run it back with Wade and Flores.
Of course they are.
They're going to bank on Flores replicating this season's production. And you know what? It's not going to happen. He's a good role player. He's a good role player.
Yes.
He's not an everyday player who's going to hit 300 with a 900 OPS every year. It's just not going to happen.
And you know what? You're onto something more, because did you hear Kapler in the dugout the day that Haniger came back? He's only a couple of years removed from a 40 home run season. It's like, that's not what's going on now, Gabe. Come on. That's not even close.
And Wilmer Flores is a perfect example.
I see where Dan's going with this. I know where he's going. Dimensions time.
If Wilmer Flores didn't have a 2-year deal, if this was his final year, he would be exactly like Brandon Crawford was a few years ago. He would be 34, 35 years old, having a great year, and him and his agent would go to the Giants and say, I'm Wilmer Flores. I've been a pretty good player all my career, but I just hit so far 291 with 20 homers, whatever RBIs he has. I want $22 million a year at age 34, 35. You know what Farhan would probably do? You got it, buddy.
Yep.
You got it, buddy. Let's be real about that. Is Wilmer Flores a 22 to 25 million a player at this stage of his career?
No.
Well, Flores is signed for 2 more years, though.
No, I know.
My point is if this was his final year, they would do exactly what they did to Brandon Crawford. Give a guy in his mid-30s that had a big year, big money, when nobody else in baseball really thinks that they're going to do that again.
Yeah.
What's his realistic value, do you think? Like 12 million, maybe?
What is he signed? What is he realistically signed for? 6?
I think it's like 6 or 8. Yeah.
I'd let him finish out next year, and then thank you very much.
No, I'm just saying, like, if he,
tell you what,
what's his value right now? Because it's not 6. It's
if it's me,
10 to 12.
Yeah.
If it's me,
sounds about right.
I'm trading him this offseason.
Yeah.
He's signed for 2 years cheap, and man, you're going to get the best value you can get for him right now.
It's a good
because
call.
He might bring you back a really good prospect. And I don't think he duplicates what he's doing. Dan,
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
That he duplicates?
No, that to trade him, and I'll tell you why. Wilmer Flores is a seasoned vet. He has almost 10 years experience in this league, and he was born in like Venezuela, I think.
Yeah.
He is a leader in a clubhouse. He might be a silent leader, but he's a leader to the non-English speaking players.
That's a good point.
That are going to be coming up. And he is someone that you want to have on your team as a role.
That's a good point. I mean, they do need a role player like him. I agree. I just I see what your point is. I want to get back to this stadium here because I watched the game tonight and I saw Grisham. I'm pointing. You can't see my finger where I'm pointing. Okay. No. So Grisham is over in, center field. You see the gates open, right?
Yeah. See it. Yep.
Okay. So he's on the other side of those gates and the ball kind of goes in the direction of the 415, but he doesn't have to run that far because the stinking field is not so. I hate the dimensions of this park. Look how deep that is. Let me show you another angle of this. It's such a weird looking. I gotta cut it out. Take this 365 over here, this cutout under the L for Levi's Landing. You guys see that in right field? See that cutout? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So take that right there at that corner, it's 365. Okay. Just take that and bring that fence, like angle it over and make it a field that's it just lends to boring baseball. Now, there's two options here, in my opinion. If you're going to keep the ballpark the way you got it, then keep, go with pitching, and get your everyday players that can get you, 5 runs on the road, but maybe they only score you 3.5, average 3.5 to 4 at home. But your pitching is going to win you games at home, and you can hopefully win 50 games at home with excellent pitching. But if you're not going to have excellent pitching, this ballpark, you're never going to attract anybody. You might as well just develop hitters and keep trading off your veterans. When they get to be 31, trade them off for younger guys and just keep controllable guys, because when guys get to be free agents eligible, they're good players, they're not going to want to end their careers here in this park. So your model for the Giants going forward is develop great pitching and develop young players and trade your older guys once you've had them. And the example would be, let's say you've got Matos and Ramos and all these guys are playing, and Schmidt and Meckler, and they're in their early 20s. When they come up for free agency after 6-8 years, start dealing some of those guys, and then get younger guys and keep having your pitching. And that's how you win in this ballpark. The other option is just change the dimensions and go get some boppers.
Check out what Senior says. How about you move up home plate by 10 feet?
That's a great idea, because
then you don't have to do major alterations.
Right.
It makes a little bit more foul ball territory behind, but.
Do you guys remember the very first game in this stadium? Kevin Elster, the Dodgers, hit 3 home runs, and everybody thought it was going to be like Coors West. It was going to be a total hitter's ballpark. And then it settled in, and it really is a pitcher's ballpark when it's all said and done.
That's a good point there, Senior. Just move it up 10 feet. That might be all you need to do.
Yeah, but if you do that, we've already proven that the Giants cannot get any kind of free agent power hitters, and they can't really develop power hitters. So maybe the road team is going to hit more home runs than the home team. I think the opposite. I have said from the beginning, and Ned Coletti repeated it when he was on, and Dan remembers this. Eric, I know you remember this. You were on with when he was on. Mm-hmm. Is he said speed travels everywhere.
True.
This ballpark is a doubles and triples and speed type of team. If the Giants had more athletic, faster guys that hit a lot of line drives and they played good defense, they would do fine in this ballpark. Trust me, they would.
See, and that's what I expected to see with Cincinnati, but they really didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the ballpark, I like the idea of not changing anything around, keeping the structure out there, move home plate, 10 feet forward, and everything goes back a little bit. Now you've got a whole different, the outfield's still big, but it's plays a little shorter. I don't know. I just love watching balls in these other ballparks that fly out of the park. I mean, our ballpark is very exciting. It was even better in the beginning when teams have learned to play Triples Alley differently now.
Do you think it's harder to hit a homer in this ballpark or at Candlestick?
It's harder to hit it out here into Triples Alley. I mean, I think it's easier if you go down the line here in right field, and then left field's not that bad here. Candlestick was harder in left field.
Right.
And
it was windier.
Yeah, left field's not too bad here. So look at this. We got some comments in here. Eddie K calling me dude. Okay, dude. Dan, just stop insulting our home dude. I'd rather hear talk S about Kapler and Farhan instead of you disrespecting that beauty of a ballpark. That's enough, dude.
Twice.
Dude.
Okay, 2 dudes, man. That might deserve a timeout. Maybe. I'm going to debate.
But
this.
hold on. This kind of, Eddie, I'm not going to attack you or nothing, but this is what I've kind of been talking about. There's more of a love fest for the park than for the game that is happening inside the park.
Yeah, they're boring as hell, Eddie. They're boring as hell to watch at home. I had season tickets. Did you? I paid and sat and watched games. Very few games were exciting to watch because they couldn't hit. And the ballpark cost them. So that's my point, is either get better players and develop them, guys that can hit, or move the dimensions, because it sucks to watch one-run games constantly. How many games did you go to, Eddie? Dude. Yeah. How many games did you do? How much did you fork out, dude?
See, hey, it's not me this time. I'm not attacking.
I don't mind being called out, but calling me dude twice is like,
dude.
Like, how about if I just call you, hey, punk?
Go back to Salinas. Isn't that what that's?
Eddie, you punk.
This ballpark is 23 years old, and other than the Bonds years, the Giants really haven't had a great hitting team. I would look up every year since 2000, and I would venture to say that not one team was in the top 5. Maybe a couple of years when Bonds was there, of batting average and home runs as far as in their home ballpark. It's a tough park to hit in, period. But that's why you cater your team to its strengths,
as they did early on. Sabian knew what he was doing.
Yes, he did. He knew he got certain players that can fit that ballpark's dimensions for sure.
Yeah, it's create a team that is built on pitching with great defense,
timely hitting,
and you'll win. You'll win close to 50 games a year at home. Now you only need to play 500 on the road, and you're going to win 90 games. It's that simple.
Yeah, under Kapler and Farhan, they've not really had timely hitting. They really haven't had good defense. And other than Webb and now Duvall, they really haven't had great pitching. Other than 21, they had good pitching. And they won 107 games because they had a good pitching staff and they had some timely hitting. So,
and
that's the formula is there. We know the answers to the test. If you choose not to do it and you want to be stubborn and go with analytics and thinking that that's going to work in that ballpark 81 times a year, you are wrong.
Eddie, it wasn't a problem back then because, as Lawson just saying, and I'm saying, is they built the team around the ballpark. Sabian knew what he was doing. He got, and to an extent, Farhan has tried to do that with Gosman and some of the other pitchers he's brought in that are sinker ball, ground ball pitchers, and keeps the ball on the ground. But even a fly ball pitcher in this park is fine because it's hard to get him out. Stripling, for some reason, has just given up so many gophers this year. I don't know what the heck's the problem with Stripling, but I'll say this: build your defense, build your pitching staff, and you'll win the majority of your games in this park, as they've done even this year. Let's pull up their record here at home versus road. And my guess is it's closer to 10 games over 500 at home. Standings. Can you guys see that? Or did I? No, I need to bring that up here. Present screen. And here we go. All right. Giants at home are 38 and 31, 7 over 500, 32 and 34 away. I mean, look at the Dodgers. Okay. They always win close to 50 on the road. Look at their road. They're good, but they're gangbusters at home. Dodgers are always winning at home. Let's take a look at other teams at home here. Minnesota Twins, 40-29. They have a realistic shot at winning. They'd have to go 10-3. 50-32 is 50-31. They'd have to go 10-2 to win 50.
Same record as the Giants, the Twins, and they're 5 games up in the division. That's a crap.
Yeah, but look at their home record. Yeah, same record. Yeah. So, but exactly. They are the same record. I see what your point. But you want to win. You want to try and win 48 to 50 games at home, and if you can do that and play 500 on the road, you're going to be in the playoffs. And the Giants right now, what is their record at home again? 38-31. So they have, is that right? The Giants only have 12 home games left? Is that right? Am I doing my math right? 50-31 is 81,
let me take a look
right?
at the schedule here.
Isn't 50-31 81 in my math? Yeah, so 81-81 is 162. So they have 12 games left at home.
Yep.
Out of how many
That
games?
means
About 28?
28. That means they got 16 on the road. That's not good. Their road record is 32-34. Wow. Eric, why don't you pull up their schedule here?
Yep.
Because I know they got Colorado. They got 2 more with San Diego, 3 more in Chicago. That's 5. Then they've got 4 in Colorado. That's 9. They got 2 in Arizona, 11. 4 in LA. That's 15. Where's the 16th? I'm missing a game. Okay, they got 2 more in San Diego, 3 in Chicago. That's 5. 4 in
3 in Colorado.
4 in Colorado.
4.
4.
Oh yeah. 3 at 3 at
2,
home.
3, 5 plus 4, 9. 2, 11. 4 in LA, 15. Where's the 16th? I don't get it.
In October.
Oh, that's right.
Eric,
no, that's at home, though. That's at home.
Keep that up for a second, Eric.
Yeah. Yep.
So we talked about August 10 to August 31st was going to be
15
against monster teams that was going to make or break the Giants.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
27.
Looking at this schedule again, September 8th to September 17th. That's the make or break. That's going to determine if the Giants make the playoffs this year. September 8th to the 17th, they play the Rockies and they play the Guardians. Those are 2 pretty.
I'll tell you what, though.
Take it all the way to the 17th. Did you say 8th to the 17th or 8th to the 13th?
Yeah, to the 18th, 17th.
Okay, yeah.
8th to the 17th. They play the Rockies 7 times, and they play the Guardians.
That Cleveland team, though, they're going to be in the run, maybe.
They're playing 10 games. They're getting them at home where they play.
You need to go at least 7-3 to prove a point.
They need to go more like 8-2. In that 10-game stretch, if they go 5-5, I think they're not going to make it.
I think you're right, Lowe's. That's a good point because
they got to beat up those bad teams.
Lowe's, you got to start wearing that hat more often. They're coming with the heat.
Hell yeah.
They're a little bit fortunate that they're catching the Dodgers when they catch them, because by the time they get to LA on the 21st, Atlanta's 6 games up right now. So if they walk out of here 6 up, if they split the next 2, LA's got to win the next 2 to 4. I guess what I'm saying is if LA is 6-7 back of Atlanta at that point on the 21st, and there's nothing really to play for other than just continue to play good baseball, they may mentally not be firing on all cylinders. And that would be the only good thing, because if the Dodgers are gunning for number 1 seed, they'll smoke the Giants. If they're just playing, they're playing it out the season, they'll still be the favorites to beat the Giants in those both series. But the Giants are fortunate that they're not playing them, right now, because they're not playing them for 3 more weeks. So a lot can happen. We'll see. But I do think you make a great point on that 8th through the 17th, those 10 ball games.
Those are but they struggled against the A's and they struggled against the Nationals last month. Those were 2 bad teams, so they should go 8-10. But I don't 7-3. I don't know. It's hard to say. They're, like I said, they're very inconsistent. So
I'll also add those next 2 games against here in Arizona, because if they go into Colorado, let's say, and win 3 or 4, and then go into Arizona and lose both, it's like they need to take. You're saying 8-2, so you're looking at a sweep at home versus the Rockies, 2 or 3 against the Guardians.
Yep.
That's
and 3 or 4 on the road.
Yeah. That's 8-2. And then they need to split in Arizona minimum.
We need to go to the game on the 20th, 12:40 p.m. That's perfect.
Yeah. We might have to go on the Tuesday night. I may be working. I will be working. I'm going to have probably some busy days during the day right there.
I'm going to try to go to one of the 4 games in LA against the Dodgers.
Oh, there you go. Just you just
go
Uber.
Represent, Poro.
What are you gonna get an Uber? Or are you gonna drive over?
I'm gonna drive over.
Just park in the in the stadium lot. Don't park your car outside.
No,
yeah. And then don't wear your Giants gear.
Oh, I'm wearing Giants gear. I'm wearing Giants gear.
Just keep your mouth quiet when you're in the parking lot. We don't want no what was that poor guy that got beat up?
Yeah, what's his name? Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. But yeah.
I used to cause a ruckus at Dodger Stadium when I was your age, Bora. Little older, actually. I was in my 20s. Different times. If I was 20 today, 24, whatever, I wouldn't make that ruckus because I probably wouldn't come out alive. But
you can wear Giants gear, just keep below profile.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
No, I always I enjoy watching the game. I'm not the type of guy to get like super into it.
Stuff, yeah.
Smart. Yeah.
Thanks, Gonzo. Brian Stowe,
that's it. Poor guy. That's awful, man.
Yeah, I've had a couple experiences at Dodger Stadium.
Greg Dayton. Gonna get blown out tomorrow. Can't wait. Hey, are you related to Eric, Greg? Are you related to?
You're off your medication, bro. You and Rothberg.
And Eric, man. Eric and Dayton, we are the 2 most volatile, angry Giants haters in this.
Giants haters.
Giants haters. Playoffs? No.
Playoffs?
You're not.
Greg and Eric cannot show up on positive Thursday or positive Tuesday,
we got
whatever. But one
time a year, August 23rd of every year.
Positivity night.
Yeah,
man, that was whew.
That was really rough.
Hey, but you know what? Eric predicted the Giants were going to be in the playoffs.
I did.
And I said they wouldn't. So maybe I'm the negative one. I don't know.
You're right, Eddie. It is the team that sucks. You're correct.
Yeah, I want to get back to that for a second.
It is a team because the team with even when the Giants won their World Series, they were not like
I love it, Gonzo.
Scoring a ton of runs. They weren't. But
it was torture. 2-1 every 3-2 every game.
Yeah.
And this is my point. If they're gonna win games with a team like this out there, they're gonna have to play perfect. They're gonna have to pitch perfect, field perfect, timely hitting, and their bullpen has to be perfect.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen with Kapler, and it's not gonna happen with this lineup. 2010, 2012, and 2014, they won the World Series because in the playoffs, they basically played perfect. They had timely hitting, and everything else was pretty much perfect. This team isn't situated to play perfect. It's just not.
It's not.
And that's, I mean, and that's why
They don't have any room for error like other teams.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't have any margin for error.
Yeah,
those teams went
it's not an athletic team.
Yeah, but those teams went 3 or 4 deep in the rotation. This team does not have that.
When we talk about athleticism, when I look at athleticism, I look around. Okay, let me go down the field. First base, I don't see much athleticism at the Giants. Estrada's pretty athletic. Shortstop, I don't see much athleticism anymore. Crawford can still dig the play out here and there, but he's a little slow. Casey Schmidt is athletic.
Is he?
Pull that up.
He's athletic in the sense that he's got a great arm, and he does. And he's not fast. Very fast. He's fast he's sneaky fast. He's sneaky fast.
He's not a guy.
He's not quick.
Okay, so he's quick on his feet, but not a base stealer, so to speak.
Not so much a base stealer, but if he gets in the gap, he can hit a triple. He can score from first on him.
And he's quick defensively. He can get down the line and
quick hands. Yeah, good glove work. Very, Bailey, good hand. Not super athletic. Bailey's not real athletic at all. I don't think Wade Meckler's fast, but it's not smooth or for some reason. I mean, his outfield he just looks like
he's just fast. That's really it.
That's it. He's fast. He's fast straight ahead, and he's on the bases. He's fast,
and he doesn't base steal. So
yeah, like I don't. I'd rather see him on the corners. I don't like him out in center field.
Does he have a good arm, or is it just
no? I think it's a noodle. Arm, right? It looks like a noodle to me.
Eric, could you pull up Rothberg's comment, please? 1106. Please, Rothberg, please tell me how that applies to every team. Do the Braves have to play perfect ball? Do the Dodgers have to play perfect ball? No, they don't, because their pitching staff could carry them on any single day, and their offense could carry them on any given day. It doesn't have to work completely in sync. One part of their team can carry each other, and that goes for the Astros, the Orioles, the
Rangers,
the Rays. Yep. Exactly. I mean, it goes for all of the true contenders. They don't have to play perfect baseball. They have margin for error.
Right.
It would be the ultimate facial on us at NorCal Sports Network would be if Texas and Bochy miss the playoffs and Kapler gets in and the Giants do well.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my goodness. And it could happen. Texas is like fading. They're
it's because slumping. The AL is like really stacked. It's really good. And the
Texas bullpen, you know how many saves they've blown? Like 26 out of 50 some odd opportunities. I heard.
Smith got demoted.
It's been bad. So I'm like, oh, please don't let that happen. But that would be, Farhan and Gabe would look like amazing, and everybody would have egg on their face. All the Bochy lovers and the Farhan and Gabe haters. But anyway, and I'm not a hater personally, okay? I just don't like their philosophy. Let me get that straight. I don't dislike Farhan or Gabe, the people, the person. I don't care for their philosophy of the way they run a ball club.
What if they change their philosophy? Would you want them to stay on? What if they all of a sudden went into next year and said, you know what? We tried analytics. We were wrong. We admit we're wrong. We're going to go back to old-fashioned baseball.
Tiger doesn't change his strategy. Farhan doesn't know.
Farhan's not going to do that.
Farhan doesn't know that.
I'd be okay with Kapler. I'd be okay with Kapler because he hasn't done that in previous years. But I know it's like, what if they do that, then I'd be fine with them. And if Farhan can
Farhan can't change because he doesn't. He was trained this way. It's in him. It's the only reason he has the position he is because he started plugging things into a computer software program to create where people play in the field like 2 steps over, because 87% of his pitches in play, balls in play, go to this within this range. He's got everything built to. He's part of the reason that baseball has changed so much, because when he came to the A's early on, he was just you talk about a baseball nerd. He truly was it. And he's in on that group. Farhan doesn't know another way to run a baseball. So I think Kapler does, because he played it at a high level, had a pretty decent major league career.
Really too. He didn't win, but he let him play.
Yeah. So I don't know, but hey, we got about 10 minutes before we get out of here. 5-10 minutes.
We all agree that Farhan is a smart guy, right? Can everybody agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've always thought when it comes to high IQ, smart, intelligence, you name it, use whatever word you want, that you are able to change. You are able to adapt. To me, when you say he can't change, those are for people that are stubborn. Those are people that, maybe don't have the highest IQ in the world. So I agree with you guys. I don't think Farhan can't change. What I'm a little kind of shaking my head about and wondering is, like, you're a smart guy. Like, you can't go and analyze yourself and go, maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. And maybe Moneyball doesn't work anymore like it did with the A's. So why can't I change? I'm just kind of thinking, like, he's a smart guy. Why can't he change? Why is that so hard?
He's too stubborn. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room at all times, and he thinks his philosophy will always work. And if it's not going to work this year, it might work next year. He just thinks he knows best, and I think he just thinks it'll eventually work.
So the stubbornness basically erases the high IQ.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of a waste. Like, you're really this smart guy.
It is a waste.
Stubbornness does not allow you to, advance and see it. Because if he was running a business or a company, forget baseball. If he was running some kind of IT company and sales or whatever was not good, I'm just thinking that he would not be stubborn and change his techniques so the business would succeed. So why can't he do that with baseball? Because ultimately, baseball, it's a game, but it's also a business.
Well, if you think about it,
I agree with what Bora said. Like, his stubbornness is so strong that it won't allow him to do it.
And the thing is, you think about with Farhan, he's getting a paycheck whether he sucks or doesn't suck, right? His paycheck is not based on whether or not he makes good deals or not, because you're within that time frame, you're getting paid.
Good point.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I wouldn't be surprised if he got bonuses for profitability of the team, because of the way the ownership wanted to be so profitable, and then the way he kept the salaries down so much. But I'll say this about Farhan: I don't think he has it in him to go back to old school. I think he believes 125% that this is the way you do things going forward. He believes in this analytics, which really is frustrating, because I don't believe you're going to get good, let's not say good, all-star caliber players to come sign here, because they get stuck, they get into a slump, and all of a sudden, like Conforto was told he was going to play every day. He doesn't play every day anymore, even when he's healthy. They have gone more to even platooning Conforto at times. So if you're not going to, I just don't think you're going to attract the best players available. That's why you got to develop them. But let's change subjects real quick here toward the end of tonight. I want to get your guys' take on Nick Bosa. This is obviously, we've been talking Giants for over an hour and a half.
Wait, Dan, could I say one more thing quickly?
Sure.
Scott Fowler, he says, Bora, who would you have signed this year in free agency? It's not about who I would have signed, it's about who I wouldn't have signed. You knew the farm system was getting there, yet you signed Mania, Stripling, Conforto, and you re-signed Yastrzemski, Slater, and you signed Haniger. Exactly. It's this free agent signing class, whatever you call it. It wasn't that good. It was pretty top heavy. It had Judge and Bellinger and Correa. He didn't sign Correa, he didn't sign Judge, and he didn't sign Bellinger. But to me, it was more about you don't need to do too much. Rely on your rookies. Rely on your farm system to help bring you up.
Good point. Good point. So, because they basically are blocking guys from actually getting a chance to just develop. But the problem is the mentality. They are going for the playoffs, and their mindset is just get in and anything can happen, which is true. But it'll remain to be seen if it was successful or not. We'll see. It's going to be razor thin. It's coming down. It's too many teams. There's 4 teams, really. If you can count the Cubs in there, there's 5 teams playing for 2 spots. Okay, there's Cubs, Giants, D-backs, Cincinnati, and Miami. 5 teams playing, and they're all separated. What is Miami? Just 2 back now of the Giants? I think they are.
Yes, 2 back behind the Giants.
Okay, so that's a log jam that anything can happen with 27 games to go. We're going to come back here next weekend, and we're going to be talking like the end of the next weekend, like there's 20 games to go. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Right. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah. You start getting down to 20 games. I mean, now we're at every game matters. And this is why I'm like, okay, every game matters. And you got a college kid basically who was an 8th round pick, and he's coming up in key situations, and you don't have anything better. And I'm not against Wade Meckler. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I think Meckler's going to be a good player. I like Wade Meckler a lot. I just don't think he's the answer in a pennant race when he's just learning. He cannot yet figure out how to hit an off-speed pitch. You look at his swings and misses, they're on – I'll bet you – I don't know how to do it. There's a stat out there, but I think every one of his hits this year has been against the fastball. I don't think he's got a hit this year off any kind of off-speed breaking ball, slider, whatever you want to call it. He's not picking it up. Change-ups, I mean, he's just not. And
that's a scouting report on him right now. He can't hit breaking balls, so they're going to keep throwing him.
You just keep throwing the change-up to him or the off-speed, because I think he'll get it. Hear me out. I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to be a solid, close to 300 hitter or higher. But now's not the time to experiment with a guy when the scouting report is just don't give him any fastballs to hit. Right. So anyway, Nick Bosa. A lot of talk about Nick Bosa the last day or two. You wonder if, they always say negotiations want to be kept private, and they've kept it private all, preseason. And you almost wonder if leaks are coming out now because there's some frustration getting high, because they're talking about their $4 million, maybe within $4 million, that Nick Bosa wants $35 million a year, and the Niners may be at $31 million, which puts them as the highest defensive end ever, but not over Aaron Donald's. What's Aaron Donald getting? 31 at 32, something like that?
32, 33.
I mean, at this point, just give him the 33 is my feeling. But what's your guys' take on this? Or would you consider if he's not coming off 35 and he says, no, I want 35 because I don't want to just break it by a little bit. I want to shatter it so it doesn't get broken for a while. Do you consider moving off of Nick Bosa at some point and saying, okay, buddy, we're gonna trade you to the Houston, whatever they are, astronaut. What the heck's their name down there again? They used to be the Oilers, Houston Texans. Yeah. Or we're gonna trade you over to we're gonna stick you up in what's another crappy team that you could make a deal with, Atlanta or somebody like that. I mean, what do you think?
Go for it.
Los, you go first, Los.
Well, before I talk about Bosa, there's 84 people in the chat and we have 22 likes. I'm pretty
hit that like.
That means 1 out of 4 of you are liking. Come on, guys, you could do.
Come on, you could do better. Do better.
So as far as Bosa goes, people got to remember, the Niners had a very, very good defensive lineman. He wasn't the defensive MVP, but he finished in top 3 of voting that year. His name was DeForest Buckner. And he was asking for a lot of money at the time. And the Niners didn't want to reach agreement with him, and they traded him. So don't think that trading Bosa is completely out of the question. It could happen. And by the way, you could probably get 3 first-round picks for him and an established player. So if he's holding on to $35 million plus, basically, decent quarterback money, I don't know. I don't know if the Niners,
and it's interesting,
they're gonna have to come off a few contracts in order to be able to do that. And they always do that. They always move money around to make it happen. I think he'll sign eventually, probably by the weekend, by Sunday, he'll sign. But I also would not be surprised if it doesn't get done by Sunday, Monday, if he is moved, if some team offers the world for him. And maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because the Niners could shore up some things if they use those draft picks right. So I think he will sign. And I also think this is my last point. I think him and his agent want to be the last guy to sign, because there's Chris Jones and there's some other defensive players that are holding out. They don't want to be the first one to sign. They want those guys to sign, and then he makes a little bit more, because that's the politics of money and players and negotiations right now.
It's weird too. That's a little bit different than baseball, because usually it's the big guy that sets the market, and then everyone else comes off of that. That's a little. And
I don't trust Shanahan or Lynch for anything. They have lied so many times.
And you should never take their word. Never.
And that's where I was just going to get here.
So when you hear them say, "Kyle, will you consider trading Nick Bosa?" No, we're not going to do that.
That's saving
John
face.
Lynch, would you consider trading Nick Bosa? No, simple as that. Don't believe that. They've lied to you many times before, and if you're believing that, then you don't obviously understand these guys.
And here's an interesting
article. I
article.
don't think they want to, but I think if it keeps going the way it is, don't be surprised.
This ESPN article where Shanahan even says, which I find very interesting out of all of it, where it says, "And I'm really hoping it gets done." So he might be leading on to something there, maybe. Granted, he's all, working tirelessly, and hopefully we can get it done sooner than later, all that. But when you sit there and say, "I'm really hoping that it gets done,"
what if the Raiders called and said, "We will give you Max Crosby and 2 first-round picks"?
Oh,
okay, I don't know if you know Max Crosby. He's
good.
A damn good defensive lineman. Is he quite Bosa? No, but he's pretty damn good, and you get 2 first-round picks. So everybody's out there saying, "No, I would not do that." I don't think you know who Max Crosby is. He's a damn good football player, and he's not as injury-prone as
Senior going bold here. He's saying 0 chance they sign him.
I don't think it's 0. I still think when it's all said and done, if I had to bet my house on it, I say they do sign him when it's all said and done.
I think
by Sunday.
I think Bosa's going to sign, but here's something to remember. In 2020, when he tore his ACL, right, they had a top 5 defense without him. They did. They had a top 5 defense without him. And yeah, he's one of the best players in football. But he is really good. He could fetch a lot. But they did have a top 5 defense, And John Lynch isn't a Farhan type GM. He knows how to make business. If I remember correctly, I might not be 100% correct on this. Didn't he go back to Stanford Business School?
Yep.
He took a course at Stanford. He knows business. If he doesn't like the contract that Bosa wants, and it's getting down to the wire, he will trade Bosa for a substantial amount. Also, Bosa isn't sweating. Some way or another, he's going to get signed. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, if he holds out, he's going to get signed. Someone is going to pay him. The stress and the sweating is on the 49ers side. Parag, Shanahan, and Lynch, they are sweating behind closed doors. They want this deal to happen, and Bosa has all the leverage.
Oh, he has all the leverage.
He's the reigning defensive player of the year. Here's how this went. He went into the meeting. He said, "Here's my number. Give it to me," and he left. He's not negotiating. He set a number, and Parag and Lynch are trying to move the needle with the salary cap, and it's like, "Oh, we'll go down here. Can you meet us there?" No, he set a number. That's what he wants, and that's what he's gonna get. He has all the leverage in this.
The Bosa family has a history of holding out. His brother did it. His father did it. They are steadfast into what they believe.
It's business to them. It's business.
Yeah, and it should be. It should be. He should be. He should be compensated.
Here's a question.
I don't know about $35 million, but he definitely should be compensated.
I'm not privy to what the contract was for Trey Lance when he got traded. Did the 49ers save money by trading him to Dallas?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Not a lot, but a little bit.
I was right. Do you think they did? Was that one of the reasons you think maybe to do that so they could try to sign Bosa?
Yes.
It doesn't help.
That was in the equation, I should say.
I don't know. The thing is, if Bosa gets signed, his cap hit for this year goes down. So they already have like $9+ million in cap space this year. I don't know why, because from what they've said and what we know on the outside, they're going all in for this year. Why they're putting all their chips into this year. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it gets really hard to win it.
Up. Yeah.
It could get ripped up. Why would you not pay Bosa all this money this year to go all in? Because I'll tell you right now, you might have a top 5 defense without him, but you're not winning the Super Bowl without him. You're just not.
That's an interesting point. I will say this. I've heard that so many times that they have to go in all this year, but they have Purdy locked up on a cheap contract for another 2 years.
After this, yeah.
If they sign Bosa, then guaranteed Debo's probably going to be off the team next year. Kittle very well may be off the team next year. If I was the Niners, I would go to Trent Williams and say, how many more years are you playing? Because if he retires after this year, I think it's his last year too. He looked pretty tired after last year. He's played a long time at a high level. Mm-hmm. If Trent Williams retires, that's $25 million off the books. So that would be a huge relief for the Niners financially. If he continues to play and you give Bosa $35 million, you still need to pay Brandon Ayuk. And Purdy in 2 years, if he's your quarterback, will get big money. So here's the point I'm trying to make. If they did trade Bosa and they got 3 number 1 picks back for him and maybe a good player, I think their window is still open because
I like your Max Crosby deal. I don't know if Vegas would do that.
Well, everybody says that the Bosa has leverage. Well, so does the Niners. If the Niners started just kind of under the radar, said, hey, what would you give us for Bosa? I want to know. Like minimum 3 first-round picks. Imagine what you could do with those if you hit on them.
Oh, that's the thing.
You could get a right tackle, improve the old line, which is kind of their weakness. You can get another shutdown corner, and there are edge rushers that are in this upcoming draft that are pretty good. You could draft an edge rusher. Is he going to be as dominant as Nick Bosa? Probably not. But you know what? You still have Fred Warner. You still have Tufunga. You still have Greenlaw. It's still a pretty good D. So would I be mad if Bosa got traded? If they got 3 first-round picks back for him and a player, not so much, because I still think they'd be a good team, and their window would not close automatically. If they do sign Bosa, then the window shortens, because now you got to do it this year or next year, because then them salaries are going to start getting out of control.
I do not want, if they trade Bosa, I would be completely opposed to trading him for 3 draft picks, 3 first-round picks even, because look at the 49ers track record for first-round picks. Solomon Thomas,
Not good.
Reuben Foster, Javon Kinlaw, Trey Lance. Am I missing anybody?
They miss in the first few rounds for sure.
They don't hit in the first round at all.
Maybe they should get 3 fifth-round picks because they have better.
Do we really trust
3 fifth-rounders for Bosa? We'll take it because we're good at that.
Do we really trust John Lynch to hit on all 3 of those? Because in order for the Bosa deal to even out, if you trade him for 3 first-round picks, you're going to need at least 3 pretty good starting caliber players. And me personally, I don't trust John Lynch with his track record to pull that off. If
they would just let Adam Peters do the draft, they would do well, because that guy knows talent.
He does.
And let me bring up one more point, Boren. I'll let you counter. The Dallas Cowboys, for all these football fans that know their history, they traded Herschel Walker, their best player.
Yep.
They got a shitload of draft picks back. It wasn't 3 first-rounders. It was like a first, 2 seconds.
They got the whole draft pick. They gave up their whole draft board for him.
The Vikings gave up a lot to get Herschel Walker. And you know what? Within 2 years, the Cowboys were a Super Bowl winning team.
What do you think of this?
Because
pick?
they hit on their picks.
I got a deal.
Or you make a great point.
I don't know
if you get those picks back and you draft Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster, then you look like an idiot trading Nick Bosa. But if you hit on those picks, and they're cheaper, you got 3 guys for less money than Bosa, and you hit on them, that's the risk you take.
How about this, Los? Houston doesn't have a number 1 pick in 24. They traded it to Arizona, but they do have their second available. What happens if you got next year's second from Houston and their 25 and 26 first-round pick for Bosa and Will Anderson Jr., the third pick out of Alabama, the defensive end? Guy's supposed to be the best pass rusher in this draft.
I'm not doing that.
I definitely want an edge coming back. Hey, you
wouldn't do that, Bora?
I'll tell you why I wouldn't do that, because the Texans they have a pretty good O-line, and they just drafted CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. If they get Bosa, that's a decent team for this year. And they're on the come up. The next 2 years of their draft picks, in my opinion, it's not going to be top 10. It might not even be top 15 picks. So it's going to be later in the draft. If I trade Bosa for 3 first-round picks, I need there to be a guarantee that it's a top 7 pick every time.
Well, you can't guarantee that.
I know you can't guarantee it, but I'm saying, like, I would want top 7 picks.
I'll tell you what he signs for. I'm going to guess he signs for $33.5 million. That's what I think. If they're $4 million apart, I think they bridge the gap. If he wants 35, what's Aaron Donald's contract? What is it? Because I know that's the one thing he's holding out. Do you know what it is, Bora? I mean, I thought it was like 31.
I think it's like 31.6. I think
31.6 is what it is.
Yeah, it's like it was 31.5 last year. It's 30 this year, and it's 31.6 next year.
30 this year?
Yeah.
and 31.6 next year.
Uh-huh.
So he probably wants 5 years. So 33.5 times 5, 167, and he probably wants like 120 of it guaranteed.
I think that's what's holding up the
guaranteed money.
Yeah, I think he wants complete 100% guaranteed.
Cut out there. You cut out
Deshaun Watson.
You think you want the whole thing guaranteed?
Yeah. I'm hearing that his agent is asking for the whole thing guaranteed. And that's why the Niners are saying, no way, not with your history of being hurt. We're not gonna do that.
You know,
if
you want to guarantee it,
it's not the amount.
If you want to guarantee it, I would say, all right, we'll give you. You're not going to be the highest paid player annually, AUM, but we will give you, compromise. And, I'm sure the Niners are only wanting to do like 110, 120 of, I would say, okay, we're going to give you 5 years, $26 million a year, and it's all guaranteed. And
he's not doing that.
Hey, if it's still ugly a week from now and the season is upon us, September 10th, I'm calling Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a good young team. He's from Florida. Jacksonville has a pass rusher named Josh Allen. Came out the same year as Bosa did. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an edge rusher. He's nasty. Is he as good as Bosa? No. But I say Jacksonville, you want to get over the top and beat Mahomes and beat everybody in the AFC? Give us Josh Allen. We'll give you Bosa and throw in 3 number ones and do that.
How about what I would do?
I would do that.
How about this? Would you take this?
I would do that. Josh Allen is damn good. And 3 number ones?
I would do that because those number ones are going to be 25 or later. I'll guarantee that.
How about this? I don't think Jacksonville would do this.
Players at that.
Los, I don't think Jacksonville will do this. The chat's going to go nuts on me here. I know it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It hasn't been well thought out, but Bosa and Allen and Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, straight up. No draft picks. You give me Trevor Lawrence, we'll give you Purdy and Bosa for Allen and Trevor Lawrence.
And they're not going to do that. I'll tell you, the only way
would you do that?
I would do that 100%. 100%.
I would.
Throwing a number one too.
Oh, come on.
No draft pick. Just give me that franchise quarterback and Trevor Lawrence. You can take Brock Purdy. Now I got one of the top 7 quarterbacks and going to be in the top 3 in a few years. Give me that quarterback, and I'll take a step back on the defensive end, but I still got a good defensive end. But
I got one better than that. Hey, Chargers, how about we reunite the Bosa brothers, and we'll give you Purdy. You give us Justin Herbert. I take Justin Herbert over Lawrence, and throwing a first round pick.
Oh my God.
Hey, I want my draft picks.
You want another Ruben?
Wait a minute. What was that? You're giving Bosa for Herbert and who else?
Purdy and Bosa for Herbert and a number 1.
Oh, gonna have to give me a little more than
Herbert is a franchise quarterback more than Lawrence is.
Herbert's like a top 3 quarterback.
Justin Herbert's so dominant. Oh my God, I'd love to.
Justin Herbert in this offense would win 3 MVPs.
I'll tell you that
right now.
Here's why I wouldn't do that right now.
And the Bosas are reunited.
Yeah, here's why.
Reunited.
I'd rather have Lawrence. I'd rather have Lawrence right now because now I can get my cap is great for another year.
But you gotta Jacksonville play.
I've got Lawrence on a rookie quarterback deal. I'm not paying Bosa. I got Allen still on his 4th year. And now I can go out, and if I can get, I can go add some, give me the best right tackle in football. I can pay him.
But I mean, You just got to hit on those picks. And everybody, including Bora, that says, "Oh, you're just going to miss on a first round pick." Yeah, he's right to say that. Some people in the chat are saying that. You're right; they've missed a lot.
Brian Iglesias.
But
this is what it's all about, Brian. We're getting look at this. We got everybody re-engaged. We got off the freaking Giants.
they also drafted Bosa in the first round, and they also drafted Brandon Ayuk in the first round. So they've not swung and missed completely. Just like I said, get them first round draft picks. Yes, Brian Iglesias, if he doesn't sign and he wants 100% guaranteed money at 33 to 35 million a year, I'm not saying I want it, but I'd understand if they did. Again,
hey,
I want 3 first round picks and a proven edge rusher.
The only way I would trade Bosa is for a star quarterback, because in my personal opinion, Purdy isn't a franchise quarterback. He's not going to take you over that hump to beating Mahomes, Allen, or Herbert, or any of these guys in the AFC. I just don't see him getting in a shooter's duel with them. I need
Trevor Lawrence, baby.
Bosa's going to get quarterback money, so I need a quarterback in return for Bosa.
But nobody's going to. I agree. Nobody's going to give up their star quarterback unless they get a quarterback back in return in Purdy, along with Bosa. I don't think
Purdy and Bosa for Lamar.
I wouldn't do it. Lamar's too injury prone.
Yeah,
also, Kansas City wouldn't do it for Mahomes. Kansas City wouldn't do it.
Kansas City isn't trading Mahomes ever.
I don't think
Brian Iglesias.
I don't think Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo would do it, but I would do it with Buffalo. Josh Allen.
Here, I'll tell you the teams that aren't doing it. Los Angeles Chargers. They're not trading away Herbert. Jacksonville isn't trading away Lawrence. Buffalo isn't trading away Allen. Mahomes isn't trading away. Or Kansas City isn't trading away Mahomes, and
Philadelphia is not trading Hurts.
Philadelphia is not trading away Hurts, and Cincinnati isn't trading away
trading Burrow. Those are your top 6 quarterbacks. Facts. Yeah, you're right. Probably none of them.
They're not going
to. Exactly. I don't see it.
Yeah.
But the only
one
team
of them
that I could see. Is Herbert? Is he still on his rookie deal, or is he at the end?
No, he re-signed.
So he's getting what, 40 a year now, or
5 years and 265.
Okay, yeah. I think that the model that the Niners have, in that they got the rookie deal, is the way to have great players at all these skill level places. The wide receivers, the linebackers, the defensive ends. That's why they're able to do it, because they saw what Kansas City did, with Mahomes early on. If the Niners were to give Bosa 100% guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson got, and he blew out a knee or blew out something and he couldn't play much, that would destroy them. They'd be like the Rams. The Rams went all in for that title in 21, and they are going to be crap again this year.
You could say that about the Chiefs, the Bengals, you could say that about all those teams that have the top quarterbacks. If their quarterback goes out, then they're done.
Yeah, Kansas City, though, they can get away with getting rid of some of their guys contract-wise that they can't re-sign because of the big contract with Mahomes, because Mahomes is such a difference maker. I mean, he's so good, and they got Kelsey, and they get these skill guys. They keep replacing. Andy Reid is doing kind of what Bill Walsh and Carmen Policy did. They had the philosophy of getting rid of a player a little too soon, a year early. What's so funny? Something in the chat.
That one, right, Los?
No, Kyle McKiernan's comment to you, right below it.
Oh. I don't want to do that because then Dan will get mad at me.
Not if he asks for it.
But Dan, I disagree with how the 49ers philosophy is the way to go, just because it's hard to plug in the young quarterback to a win now roster, just because chances are that young quarterback isn't developed and is going to take some time to develop. We saw it with Lance. Purdy is an outlier. He is the outlier. If you look at all the young quarterbacks in the last 2 years that have been drafted, Purdy and maybe two other guys are really the only quarterbacks that are like ready, that play like seasoned vets.
If there was ever a how would I say this in the right way? If there was ever a quarterback that does not have like superstardom, gunslinger QB that was designed to run this offense, it's a guy like Brock Purdy. To me, he reminds me more of Montana's style of play. Roll out, get rid of the ball quickly, get your reads, get rid of it. Montana had great quick feet. Purdy has really quick feet, and he's got good 10-yard, time getting out. He's not a guy that is going to be, your Dan Marino type, Aaron Rodgers, rocket arm, throw it down all over the field. He just knows how to execute Kyle's offense. I don't think Brock Purdy, you stick him in a conventional, regular offense, it's not like Kyle's, I think you see 20 interceptions a year.
Mm-hmm. And for me, though,
Kyle loves that.
Yeah, for me, this
ego loves
this
that.
style can't win a Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. People can have other opinions, but I think if I were a GM and I was like taking over a completely horrible team, like a 3-win team, and I had the number 1 overall pick, right? I mean, of course you draft. I want to get that franchise quarterback, because as long as you have, and hope he turns into like a superstar quarterback, because as long as you have that superstar quarterback, you're always going to be in it. As long as you have a decent team.
Would you consider Matthew Stafford a superstar quarterback?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But I just asked that because he won a Super Bowl. But I'm reading reports that Matthew Stafford is like, he's going nuts because he can't even relate to any of the players.
And Bora, that's the mistake. That's the mistake Shanahan and Lynch came in 2017. They both were on board of building this team on the defensive line. Like 5 of their 6 first-round picks were defensive linemen. And that was a great theory in 1997, not in 2017. Because
it's an offensive-driven league now.
They used to say defenses win championships. Not anymore. The best defenses are getting beat by top quarterbacks. That's the mistake they made. Mahomes was sitting right there.
Yep, they didn't even scout him.
I don't mind if you passed on him, but you didn't even scout him. And that is
because
what do you guys think? What do you guys think Eddie DeBartolo? What do you guys think Eddie DeBartolo would do if he was the owner of the Niners the last 6 years? Do you think he would have let some of the things Shanahan did?
I think Shanahan might be out of the door right now.
I think he would be too. And I know Shanahan's a very good coach. I'm not knocking him, but those are huge mistakes. They kept drafting defensive linemen. They kept passing on superstar quarterbacks because they wanted to build the defense and think that I can just plug in a decent quarterback because my system's going to win the Super Bowl. That's why he was so infatuated, and still is, with Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Still infatuated with him.
Because he runs the system. That's all he does.
That's Shanahan's ego.
And you know what? It's not what Trey Lance does.
To win the Super Bowl, not a superstar quarterback. I firmly believe that. That's his one drawback as a coach.
He can't. He does everything so well. Play designs, concepts, whatever. Play calling. Yep. He cannot scout a quarterback. He cannot
save his life.
His quarterback situation is. It's probably the worst in the league. Let's be honest. It is atrocious. And trading 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance and then dumping him for a 4th-round pick, that's a fireable offense.
Yes, it is.
If
Eddie
he
D.
doesn't get at least to the NFC Championship this year, there's a possibility he could be out the door. I'm like, I'm hearing reports that Jed York is not happy with this whole
Trey Lance.
situation with Trey Lance. If
Good.
Kyle doesn't get to the NFC Championship, and even that might not even be enough, he could be out.
Yeah. Yeah. For as many things as he does good, he has missed that so hard. It wasn't just Mahomes passing on Watson. It was he moved up to get CJ Beathard. CJ Beathard. He moved up to get Trey Lance. His evaluation of the quarterback position has been so poor. And we'll see what happens with Purdy. That those are fireable offenses. For all that he does good, those are really bad misses. And it's not just one. It's about 3 or 4.
Yep.
And don't forget, Tom Brady wanted to come here.
Tom Brady, you could have had Aaron Rodgers. You could have had Aaron Rodgers.
Begged to come here. I want to come here and finish my career. And he wins the Super Bowl with Tampa instead. But Shanny and Lynch said, no, we'll keep Jimmy G. So that's like 4 things at the quarterback position they missed on. You're damn right. If Eddie DeBartolo's the owner, he would have said, sorry, dude, you're out of here. And yeah, he would have got a job just like that. Shanahan's that good.
I would trade him. I wouldn't fire him. I would trade him because you could.
I mentioned that last year on a show. I said
you could get 2 first-round picks for Shanahan. You could
get 2 first-round picks. I want so bad.
Yep.
Man. Yeah.
You could get picks for Shanahan. What about if they do sign Bosa and he's in everything's good? Does that mean the end of Debo next year in 24? Do you think?
I would assume so. Just because I'll tell you why.
Could you trade him to Miami for their number 1? And
I don't know if Miami would want him, but I would trade Debo, and I think they might trade Debo just because with McCaffrey on your team now, it's hard for Debo to have that role like he did in 2021 because McCaffrey takes that check down pass
role, right?
And he basically takes that role in the passing game. There's no other player there's no other wide receiver on the 49ers who has a game like Ayuk. Ayuk is a traditional receiver who can really exploit down the field passing.
He carried that team in 21. He carried that team.
I think
guess who couldn't get him the ball in the second half against the Rams? He didn't touch the ball once.
He didn't touch the ball once. Same thing in the Super Bowl against the
exactly.
Chiefs.
I think
the Chiefs could not stop the jet reverse. They couldn't.
He was going to win Super Bowl MVP. If they won that game, he would have won Super Bowl MVP.
They couldn't.
I think Mike McDaniels would love Debo with his, and I think Miami would be willing to give up the number 1, and then all of a sudden now you can draft a really good wide receiver and have kind of what you would call, 2 conventional wide receivers. Debo's not a great wide receiver.
He's a great gadget player.
He's not a guy that, runs these great routes and runs and gets guys, gets you deep balls or anything. He's more of a slant guy, and then good luck bringing him down.
To me, his value went down when McCaffrey came.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Yeah,
but the thing is,
McCaffrey. What blows my mind is McCaffrey makes $12 million and Debo makes like 23, 24. Debo's not twice the player McCaffrey.
No, he's not.
If I had to choose one of those guys on my team, I'm taking
CMC every day.
Yeah,
all day.
Here's the thing, though. Debo and McCaffrey, they both complement Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Ayuk doesn't really do that. Purdy doesn't really throw the ball down the field. So if Ayuk has a down year this year, and I wouldn't be, down year like 800, 900 yards, because he's still really good and everybody knows it. But I don't know, because the thing is, I don't know if Purdy can get Ayuk the ball as much. I really don't.
Well, it's usually he gets Ayuk the ball generally more in the red zone. Because
that's Kittle though. Last year it was
but
good.
Ayuk is good at getting open. He's got separation ability. He's got good movement. He can go up and get the ball in the red zone. It seems like that's where they go because Purdy's not. You're in the red zone. You're not throwing a 40-yard ball. You're throwing a 10 to 15, maybe 20-yard pass, and that's Purdy's game. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see because I'm concerned about Purdy holding up all year. I'm wondering, how does that elbow hold up all year after, 17 weeks after getting back, basically after 4 months, 5 months?
Yep.
He didn't do the Tommy John. He did the, I
brace.
don't know much about this brace, how, it looks great right now. And maybe it is great, but I don't know. I don't know. They don't do it for baseball pitchers. So,
You know who I'm going to reference right now? Matt Stafford. He didn't have the same thing that Purdy had, but he had an elbow issue. And he played the first half of the season, and then he was done.
Yeah. Hey, if Purdy's done, and then they're just down to Darnold, I don't know.
Kyle should be fired if that happens.
I just can't wait for the season to start because
Trade him.
This offseason.
Don't fire. Trade him.
Yeah, trade him.
This offseason has just been, drama after drama. Let's just actually get to talking about football.
Val Ramos is asking, pick one, Boza or Ayuk?
Hey, whoa. You missed.
The super chat. Oh, yeah.
Mark Hope just coming off the swing shift. How's it going there, Mark? Dan, Eric, Los Bora, what's up, gentlemen? Great show. Have a great weekend. Same to you.
Yep.
Keep Debo. Let BA walk.
Disagree.
Yep.
I keep Ayuk. He's going to be a better player long term.
If you keep Debo and let Ayuk walk, your offense is just completely one-dimensional. You have no downfield passing threat.
None.
It's just short passes, and the defense is eventually going to figure that out if they haven't already.
Will we see much of Danny Gray this year? Will we see any?
No.
I don't know why they kept him. He was made for Lance and his big arm.
Yep.
He does one good thing well. He runs a post route, and that's what Purdy doesn't throw very well.
Nope.
I don't know why you kept him and cut some other players.
They need a deep threat somehow. You can't have all. You got to have somebody. Whether it's
they never throw.
They don't throw deep.
Throw
Purdy can't really throw deep.
Hopefully he can, because if it can't, that's an element that will shut down the 49ers against great defenses. Great defenses, what they will do is they'll just play more up in the box and dare you to throw over the top.
Yep.
And this is my concern. Purdy didn't have a great arm before his injury. How's his arm going to hold up? And we saw it against the Dallas game, and in the first half against the Seahawks. They played cover one, and they had 8-9 in the box. Can Purdy can he overcome that? And against the Dallas game, they won, but they were averaging over 35 points a game, and they scored 19, 20.
Yeah, I've said this year it has a couple ways it go. It could be a totally banner year, or
it could go off the rails soon if they start off slow again.
It could.
They need that 1 seed this year. They do. They really need it because they're traveling a lot. They travel a lot, and it takes a toll. They need to start out fast.
Speaking of travel, let's get to this question right here. Thoughts on Cal Stanford today going to the ACC? 17-team league. You're talking Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina State, North Carolina. I mean, you're talking the Atlantic. It's called the ACC for a reason. The Atlantic Coast.
Why would you want to go to the East Coast if you're in California? Why?
I don't get it.
I don't even care, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to that at all.
Well, it's big because what's happened is they're only going to get 30% of the TV revenue the first several years. And then I think it goes up to 70%. And then it's 9-10 years into it before they get 100% of the revenue. Cal and Stanford, hung on to kind of hold on to the old Pac-10, Pac-12 and keep it alive, and everybody else abandoned them. I mean, it started off with SC and UCLA, and then all of a sudden, the Oregon's moving, and Arizona State, and then it's Washington and Utah and Colorado. I mean,
is this for all sports, or is it just football?
I think it's football and basketball. Maybe it is all sports.
Is it? Because I don't know
why
is it baseball? Because I'm interested in college baseball.
Baseball is ridiculous if they do it that way, because that's a crazy travel schedule. I mean, there's some great teams that aren't in the Pac-12 on the West Coast that are, Cal State Fullerton's been good in baseball. San Diego State is not bad. There's, Fresno State. There's other teams that have been decent in college baseball. But I don't know. Let's real quick on this football. You're going to play 12, 13 games. So there's 17 teams in the conference. Why would you do you just do away with non-conference games? I mean, you're not going to play everybody in the conference anyway.
Maybe
what's the schedule become like? Or is everybody going to just still play eight conference games? Are they going to break it up into two divisions? Probably are. If there's 17 teams, you got a 9 and an 18 division, I guess, right? And then Cal, who's the closest to them in the ACC? SMU now? Where are they going to – their travel schedule is ridiculous.
So is the Pac-12 just completely outlawed? Are there any teams left?
No, this is it. Oregon State and Washington State's. That's it, I think, right? Or is there
as extinct as the dinosaur?
So they're gone. The 2000. This is the last year. Watch Cal win the Rose Bowl finally. Get in and finally get the Rose Bowl. Jeez. I don't know, but yeah, this Niner thing is going to be interesting. I'll
tell you what, it's going to be constant content.
Yeah. So it's you're right. So what's the tomorrow Giants game? What time?
I think it's at
5:40, 4:40. What is it? Let me look it up right here. Giants tomorrow. They play at 5:40.
Agree.
What a weird time.
Okay, so 5:40 Saturday. That puts us at about an 8:30 show tomorrow. So we're going to wrap it up right here. We went an extra 45 minutes just on the Niners. Just on both. That's how more interesting. And we didn't have a down second. It was like
it was constant. It was constant chatter. Yeah. Don't sleep on 49er football in here. There's a lot of 49er fans in here that got very engaged.
And bring your friends over here.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Football starts Thursday.
Soon.
Lions and Chiefs.
Acuna Matata or Mookie?
Acuna.
Mookie. I'm saying Mookie.
I mean,
he's not going to win it, but he's my MVP.
Man. Look what he's doing. He's breaking records.
He's so dominant. He's playing for the best team in baseball. You got to
I hope Mookie gets it. You know why I hope Mookie gets it? Because every time it seems like whoever wins the Heisman and they play each other, whoever wins the MVP and they play each other, the losing guy that comes in second, his team gets the bag and wins the chip. I don't want the Dodgers winning the chip. I don't want them Acuna playing against Mookie for the NLCS and then the Dodgers win. So,
Well, I don't want
no.
the Dodgers to win, but Acuna by far. I mean, just look. What
It's not by far. No way.
No, it's not by far.
Do you know what Mookie Betts is doing?
Yeah, Mookie Betts is doing a lot, but I mean, look
The
what
only thing
Acuna's
Acuna
doing.
leads Mookie Betts in is stolen bases. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's
Betts
not the-
has how many
Acuna's
homers?
hitting
player in
37,
baseball
30?
history to hit 30 home runs and 60 stolen bases.
He's
Yeah, but
hitting
you got to factor in the
338.
bases.
He's hitting 338 with 31
Yeah.
homers, 84 RBIs,
Yep.
and 54 stolen bases. What's Mookie Betts' batting average?
All right, I'll pull it up right now. I will
I'll
pull it up
I'll
right
pull it
now.
up.
I'm sorry, it's not close. Unanimous.
Okay, here it is. Mookie Betts is batting 315 with a 1,028 OPS, 38 home runs, and 98 RBIs.
How many stolen bases?
I don't know, like
I got it
10 or
right here,
something.
guys. I'm going to pull it up
I-
right here.
That is
Here you
closer
go.
than I thought.
Here
Yeah.
you go.
More RBIs.
Here you go. Here's the 23 stats. Mookie Betts. Can you see it?
Uh,
that's
Yeah.
insane. Like
Okay.
that stat line is insane.
Okay, so he's got a 498 bats. He's got 38 homers. He's got 90 RBIs. He's got 98 RBIs, 1,034 OPS, 622 slugging, batting 317.
okay.
And let's RBI. So let's look
Go to
at.
Acuna's.
Oh, and by the way,
And how
Mookie
many
Betts plays right field, plays second base, plays
Sure.
shortstop, and
Yeah,
he's
that's
played
good.
at Gold Glove caliber at every position. He's never played hardly shortstop. He's doing unbelievable. When they
Acuna
switch
has
it
a
up.
good arm. That's it. He's not a good defender.
Let's look at Acuna right here.
Acuna could be a possible Gold Glover.
No,
He's got a-
no way.
He doesn't have a good glove.
No, his arm is good, but his defense, his like reaction time and all that, his routes are horrible.
Okay, look at his WAR. I forgot to. Okay, see his stats right there. 120 runs, 337, 30 homers.
62 stolen bases.
62 stolen bases, 419 on base.
419 on base. OPS 992. Betts is higher. Slugging 574. Betts is higher. I
And he
think.
scored 120 runs. How many runs did Mookie score?
Okay, you
Let's look at it right
realize
here. There's
you
Mookie
realize-
Betts. Run scored.
116, close.
116.
Look
How
at the
many-
WAR difference. Just look at the WAR
look at the
difference.
WAR. I'm telling you, Betts is, man.
But war is a general thing. You got to get a little bit more into that. But yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Mookie's doing awesome. But Acuna, I mean, goodness gracious.
you realize that there's been 40
Take this
40
over.
players in the history of baseball. There's never been a 50-50 player. Acuna has an outside chance of hitting over 50 homers and over 70
No,
stolen
he ain't getting
bases.
50
He ain't
homers.
getting to 50.
He's probably not even getting
He's
to
got
40.
38 now.
No, that's Betts.
He's
That's
got the
Betts.
whole
That's
month
Betts.
to hit
That's
12
Betts.
home runs.
That's Betts 38.
Acuna has like 30.
31.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you still had Acuna.
Yeah.
Stats.
There you
he's
go.
not getting 20 homers.
So look at that. On
Okay.
base, 411. What was Cunha? Let's take a look.
419.
Here, maybe
mean,
just
they're
open
all-
up a new tab instead of
Oh,
see in the
There you go. Yeah,
okay,
419
let
on
me
base.
open up a new tab here.
There it is. It's right there. You have
Oh,
Damn,
no.
and the funny thing about it is
It's
Mookie
open
was
there, right?
not hitting that well around May, June. His average was not that great.
first
Mookie?
30-60 guy in MLB history. Yeah, but okay.
that's huge.
Take into account the bigger bases.
Yeah.
Like
And the two strike and the two engagement rule. It's built for stolen bases. If this was regular baseball without the regular bases and you could throw over as much as you
True.
want, no pitching clock, I bet you he's down to like
Can you
what was this? Let's
Can you
look at
go
the
back
stolen
to-
bases before. Let's look at last year.
Can you go back to Mookie Betts real quick? I want to see something and blow it up.
Man, we're dragging this shit out.
it's exciting.
Yeah, we are.
What do you
Blow it
want?
up.
You want to see the just
Okay,
this?
hold
or you
on,
want
hold
the
on.
whole stats. You want?
Hold on.
I
hold
can.
on. Go up. On his right there. How the hell is a guy 5'9", 180 pounds hitting 30?
I'll tell you why, Los, because he's the MVP. That's why.
How the hell is that guy hitting with
There you go.
that much power? And we got big ass Jock Peterson at 240 pounds. What, got 12?
yeah.
Man, speed.
If it's about the bigger bases, why does Betts only have 10? Because he's not that fast anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take that in consideration, right?
Plus, a lot
speed.
of Acuna's stolen bases are all about stat padding. They're not all.
Look, I'll tell you this. If you look at I'm not a big like advanced numbers guy, but if you look at Acuna's base running, like his overall just base running in general, he's not that good of a base runner. Like he's a good stolen base guy, but he's not that good of a base runner.
I want to see his stolen bases. Do they have attempts in here? Caught
That's
stealing
Betts.
3
He
times.
didn't have a good year last year.
Betts has been caught 3 times, 77 base on balls. Let's see how many. Let me go back to Acuna here. I want to see how many times he's been caught stealing.
All right, I'm going to put this one more thing out there. This is to everybody. If you take out Acuna, if you delete Acuna from the Braves, what place are they in? If you take Mookie away from the Dodgers, what place are they in? I'll leave it at that.
11 caught stealing.
11 caught stealing, 70 base on balls. Betts has 90 base on balls. I mean, they're both great. It could go either way. If they gave it to Acuna, I'm not going to argue. I wouldn't
argue if they gave it to Betts either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so close, and
I mean, in fairness to Acuna, his RBI numbers would be higher if he was a 3 or 4 hitter, which he could legitimately be. He's their leadoff hitter, and he's going to probably get close to 100 RBIs as your leadoff hitter.
Yeah, I mean, Acuna's having
3 or 4
year.
He has more RBIs.
I mean, his strikeouts are down this year. He's only struck out 73 times. Total bases, 308.
I'd rather have him on the Giants than Mookie because he's only 25.
Yeah, he's young.
Mark,
I agree.
You prove my point, Mark. The Braves won the World Series without Acuna. Exactly. He's not as more valuable as Betts is. If we're taking the stat or the name most valuable player, Mookie Betts is the more valuable player to the Dodgers than Acuna is to the Braves.
I hate the word most valuable player too. Just call it the not most valuable player. Call it the best season or whatever you call it. There's another name I had for it, but MVP. People get stuck on the MVP. It's really, you're not giving it to the most valuable player. You're giving it to the guy who had the greatest season.
If we're going to go most valuable player to their team, then the NL MVP this year is Wilmer Flores, because without him, the Giants would be 20 games under 500. They would be. He's most valuable to his team.
There we go. Eddie,
the elite,
that's it. Elite player of the year. Something. Change the name from MVP, because the argument comes every stinking year in the NFL. Well, who's more valuable to their team, or in the NBA? It's never. Quit calling it the MVP, because there are guys that are, like Steph Curry is so much more valuable to the Warriors than, but then you can't gauge it. I mean, Embiid's so valuable to the Sixers, Jokic to Denver. You take them off, they're not that great. Just go with the best player. Best, that's my view anyway, but they'll never change it. It's always going to be the MVP. So
even with that, in my opinion, Mookie's having the better season.
How about that guy?
What are we looking at? Freeman?
Yep.
Blow it up a little bit.
If I blow it up, it's might go off the screen here.
Hey, you know what? Matt Olson might be there too.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's
and Olson.
Any other year, like
look at that, batting 338, 414 on base.
Who's that? Freeman. OPS
He's leading.
What?
He has 51 doubles.
Yeah, Acuna, Betts, Olson, and Freeman are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in whatever order.
Incredible. Yes.
Now again, the Dodgers.
And look at
do it
that. He's
right.
got 17 stolen bases, only one caught stealing.
The Dodgers traded for Betts, and they signed Freeman as a free agent. That is what winning teams do.
I'm telling you, it is going to be fun at the end of the season here.
All
I'm
right,
telling
everybody. All right. In what is he having? In what ways is he having a better season? Wait a minute.
Look at the stats.
Senior, in what way is he having a better season than Acuna?
RBIs and home runs.
RBIs, home runs, defense.
What about total bases? What do we got?
WAR.
Am I still on? No.
WAR is kind of a That's
WAR.
No, that's a good stat.
It's an approximation. It's approximation.
It's a pretty good stat though to measure how
it takes into account offense and defense both.
Okay, so total bases for Acuna is 308. Let's see a snapshot. 910 OPS. Or no, 992. Career is 910.
Where does it show 308? I think Betts is higher because it's not bolded.
What was this bolded?
When it's bolded, you're leading the league.
Yeah.
All right, let me
Bolden
look at let me look at Mookie.
Holy
Mookie. Crap. Oh, they're close. What was it? 308 for Acuna to 310. So they're dead even. But they're so close. I mean, the only thing Acuna really has on Betts is the stolen bases, right?
Stolen bases, yeah.
And a little bit higher average, 20 points, right? Which is significant.
That's significant, yeah, in this day and age.
But RBIs, 98 to 83 or 84, pretty significant there.
It's definitely going to be a close vote.
Yeah,
they're both on great teams.
What's this POS at the far right?
Position, yeah.
9, 4, and 6.
What's that? That he's playing. Yeah, there's another thing. He's playing 3 positions.
Yeah, he's playing right field, second base, and shortstop.
Yeah. So look at defensive assist. Is that on here somewhere?
You got to go down to the defense. It's scroll. This is all offense.
I'll bet you the defense is postseason batting.
Standard fielding right there.
Okay, so Betts has.
Leave my man Bora alone, Gonzo. Saying he can work for Farhan in analytics.
That's just disrespectful. I'm not taking that. Sorry.
Get him.
Because I'm not taking it. Sorry.
No.
Get him.
You can say anything you want, but I draw the line at Farhan.
Do not say he works for Farhan.
I can't even read these defense. This looks like I don't even know what the heck some of these things are.
Here, wait. I'm gonna go to Baseball Savant and that's
Baseball Savant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get way into they get molecular when it comes to stats.
Oh
yeah, Judge hit. He's up 250, fastest to 250 home runs. Wow. Too bad he just didn't come up a little bit earlier in his age.
Yeah, Los. Mookie Betts is hitting first as well.
Is he leading off?
Yeah, he's leading off. Yeah.
Oh, does that change anything for you, Los?
No. Bora made a valid point. It's closer than I thought.
What are you looking at Baseball Savant here?
Just like all the statistics, really.
All right, here we go.
Really, yeah.
Let's look at this, guys, right here. We're going to share this. What's this say right there? Mookie's case to take National League MVP over Acuna for a month. Okay, so let's see what they're saying. For months, it seemed all but certain. That's because Mookie Betts is finishing off the best month of what's increasingly looked like a Hall of Fame career. Entering Monday, he led Acuna in home runs, OPS, and both major versions of wins above replacement, while awards Ballots aren't and shouldn't be a simple rank. The war exercise, especially when it comes to tiny fractions of a win. Both major war versions are in exact agreement about the bets the lead has, even after Acuna's 4 for 5 with a homer and 2 steals performance in college. Okay, this is a little older, but
Mookie's definitely closed the gap. And I tell you what, if Matt Olson wouldn't have been in the slump the last 3 weeks, I know because he's on my fantasy team, he would be in consideration too, because he's even in a slump, he's at like I think 48 bombs, and he's close to 100 RBIs if he's not over already.
Hey, your boy Julio Rodriguez is coming alive, ain't he?
He always
on
does
my fantasy
this.
team too.
Oh, look at
last
that.
year too.
Hey, look at that OPS by month.
We can't see it.
Yeah,
All
we
see
can't
is
see
this.
it.
You can't see that?
Nope. All we're seeing is your.
Oh, shoot. What did I? Oh, hold on.
Take it easy, Spencer.
Oh,
We got guys dropping out. We're down to 60.
I got to get out of here too.
Hint.
All right, we'll deal with this another night. Anyway, guys, we'll be back tomorrow about 8:30 after the Giants Padres game. In fact, game starts at 5:40. Right?
I think that's what you said, right? Come back on at 8:30.
Yeah, 30 or 8:45, one of those 2 times, depending on the game. So won't be any earlier than 8:30. I can tell you that though, because I've got other stuff going. So. Anyway, for Los, thank you, Los. Happy birthday again. Bora, thank you. Eric, as always, thank you. Chichare, thank you very much. We good, Eddie K? We're good. All right, if you're still there. All right. Everybody else, thanks again for joining. Oh, we forgot to mention fantasy football. I'll be getting those things out to you guys tomorrow. Will and
Yeah, we already got 5 people in that league already. Trock's in there.
I think we might need one more, and I think we're at 11 right now.
What happened to Kruger?
He hasn't responded.
He's
lazy. He's lazy. I can't wait for the lazy guy.
Invite Ned.
So we got Rebel 444 that emailed me and wanted to get in. He says he's a new subscriber. So I didn't see him in there tonight. So I got to just find out, make sure that we're not at 12 before I commit to him.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we're out of here, everybody. Thanks again. You guys are the greatest. Chichare. Or whatever I say. I forgot. What is it?
Arrivederci.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's getting late.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I'm not even Italian.
Arrivederci. Chichare. Hey. Cut that. I'm not listening to that garbage. Get out of my chat.
What? Wasn't me.
Bye-bye. All right. Arrivederci. Ciao. You want one more shot at that, Eric?
What was that?
You want one more shot at that?
Let's go.
All right. Later, everybody. Hey, get that.
What's going on?